and Cruz Azul was able to eliminate America from the Champions Cup. I would call it a fracaso, but we'll wait for the rest of the panel to assemble to get some hot takes. But my hot take is, for Cruz Azul to pull this off is quite miraculous. And on the other side of things, we still have some action going on tonight in the Champions Cup. Vancouver and Pumas are underway. It's currently tied on aggregate 2-2. And this, I believe, will go to overtime if this score stays the same, unless Vancouver scores another goal, and then they would go through on the away goal. So things are heating up over here in our region. Welcome, everyone, to the show. Let's see who we got here. Gorditos, we got Diaz, we got Rifado. Hello, hello.
What's going on, Jaime?
Yo, yo, yo. I feel like I've been missing out on a lot.
Yes, sir. Esa cuaresma is almost over, sir. Para que te metas en el chisme.
I know, bro. Man, it's been tough. It's been tough here and there. I'll check, to communicate with you guys, and then I see all these things in my feed. I'm like, oh my god, what is going on? But obviously, the big story was yesterday with Cruz Azul beating America.
Yes, sir. That was very good. Here's the thing. I did not watch the game. Too late for me. Yo estaba dormido. Mimis, Pero me levanto in the morning. I'm like, let's see the score. Probably America won. And then my surprise is, 2-1. Cruz Azul. Dije, wow. It was great.
Yeah, Cruz.
Especially,
Go ahead.
no, cause I was gonna say, especially as a coworker que está chingue y chingue. El América, el grande, papá, el grande. El grande se cayó el hocico today. No se escuchó ni madres.
Yeah, is your coworker Ricky?
No, no. A Ricky-like individual. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
No way, there's a difference. His coworker shows up. Ricky, un pinche fantasma, güey. Pero te apuesto que si hubiera ganado, aquí hubiera estado mame. Pero míralo, calladito como la puta que es.
Right off the bat, is this considered a fracaso for America? This is a team that is on paper, the most successful, the hottest team, 3 titles in a row in Liga MX. And then you go into CONCACAF and you get eliminated by your I don't know, younger sibling, I guess.
Dude, it seems like America is only top dog in the league itself. I know que jugó con uno de la Liga MX, but when you don't have that referee intervention, there's a big ass difference.
Yeah, that's a really good take. I mean, for sure, in the CONCACAF region, I don't think Mexican referees are allowed to referee Mexican matches, right?
No, I don't think so.
No. They've done it. They have done it.
What?
And you see the bias fairly clearly. El Gato has done CONCACAF games with Mexican teams.
Oh, okay. That was
weird. Like he's been in there. There shouldn't be.
No, they shouldn't.
Exactly.
But that just shows like the bias that there is towards America. And just like you said, man, America has been exposed that they're nothing more than Mazatlan dressed in yellow.
Wow.
I mean, without the arbitros, what do they have? Like you said, the miraculous comeback of having Cruz Azul win. No, cabrón. This has been happening for the past 2 tournaments, except for the fact that they get dubious calls by the refs when you're like, yo, what the fuck happened? How is that a penalty? So hence why your favorite soundbite is do that thing, bro. Play it.
Oh, wait, wrong button. Yep.
Hey, tampoco hay those freaky 14, 15 minutes extra time before the game ends. You're like, what the hell?
I know, man. And that makes the whole thing even more beautiful because is it a failure? Yes. ¿verdad? Reason why it's a fracaso, a failure, just all around a disappointing result for America is because of a couple things. Your owner went out to your fan base after you win the third championship, after you three-peat, and he says, I still failed you. This time, we're going for the Conca, right? So you go out there, you tie 0-0 with Cruz Azul. You make declarations about how, we're going to rest the team. We're going to take it slow when we go up against Pachuca. We're going in with our beat side. They go into Pachuca. They're getting their shit pushed in. There's an extra 14 minutes that gets added of stoppage time, which is really sus. But hey, guess what? None of us can really talk about it because nobody fucking saw it, which is something that we'll get into later.
Mm-hmm.
So then the excuse is, pues we played con chavitos, right? It wasn't the main squad. We're trying to do something else. We're focusing on the Conca. All right, you go into CONCACAF. You have all of your starters. You have your stars. You have everything except for the most important player on the pitch, which is the ref that you've already bought. And then Cruz Azul manages to tie it up not even tie it, to take the lead in the 87th minute, roughly. Y se te cae todo el pinche avión. At the end of the game, if you would have seen Jardine, he was trying to fuck up the refs. Like, he was in there yelling at them because it's like, hey, wait, we cut you the check. Why didn't, you cash it? Like, everyone does this. Pero ¿sabes qué? En la CONCACAF, en el plano internacional, no valen verga. They are a chiqui grande. As much as they like to make fun of, or not just they, as long as we all like to make fun of Tigres and all that stuff, and Pumas, internationally, man, chiqui grande. No pueden ganar.
Hey, so esta derrota makes it 9 years without winning an international title.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, last time they won fue in April of 2016 versus Tigres. That was they were defending champions in the 14-15 y pues ganaron 15-16.
Wow. Even Chivas have a more recent title than America does in that
Yep.
regard.
And even worse off, man, they can't even win a League's Cup. Like, no tienen nada para llenar las vitrinas. Internationally, like I said, they're nothing more but Mazatlan dressed in yellow.
Hey, so what's the deal with them entering the Club World Cup? Have they played against LAFC yet? Is that still happening? Like, what's the story there?
We're still waiting for the outcome from El TAS, or I can't remember what it's called in English, the International Court for Sporting Matters. We're waiting on that judgment to come down.
Wow. Yeah, I know LAFC is super salty. They were just eliminated a couple minutes ago to Inter Miami. I did not watch the match, but looking at what happened, there was a PK awarded to Lionel Messi towards the end of the match. I don't know if that might have been a little favor or if it was a clean, fair fight.
It was a legitimate handball. I was watching it because I was hoping for Messi to fall on his fucking face, right? Because what's better than having FIFA's golden boy take a giant shit and then having the team that they're trying to usurp Leon's spot also crash on their fucking face, aka America?
Hey, this is hilarious porque the two candidates to go to the Club World Cup acaban de perder.
Yeah, they both got eliminated.
Yep, exactly. Ya ninguno de los dos se lo merece then, because they can't even win their own fucking games.
No. LAFC did what they had to do back when to earn it, to earn that spot of being able to go.
They
They
lost to León
didn't
though.
earn the spot. Quedaron en segundo lugar.
They lost to
Sí,
León.
güey. ¿Y dónde quedó el América en
No
ese
sabe, güey.
año?
Fourth, fifth, algo así.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't even make it to the semis that year. So they don't have a fucking spot to be there. Like they did what they had to. Because let's be honest, man, Leon has been sipping shit for the past 3 tournaments ever since Larcamon left. Was it Larcamon? I think it was Larcamon who won it with them.
Yeah, he was.
So that's once he left, the whole team went down. They were sipping shit. Then all of a sudden they book James, and James comes in, and the whole team kind of gets reinvigorated. They have this new focus happening. And then now you have the whole thing about them getting kicked out of the Club World Cup, and the team starts to fall down again. When you start to listen to insiders of the club and people who are reporting on the club, what they're saying is the big change was the fact that the players saw that there was an investment being made on the team. The moment that you brought James in, the moment that you started getting the international attention that the Club World Cup was going to bring, so they were really hopeful and driven to compete in the Club World Cup and to kind of like use Liga MX kind of like as a tune-up tournament in order for them to get ready. And now everything's been taken away. The whole team is crestfallen.
One of the players got kidnapped.
One of the players got kidnapped. Fuck, bro, that feels like forever
Pinche
ago
mala
now.
suerte, man.
Yeah, shit's crazy. I will say this Pumas Vancouver game is pretty entertaining. 1-1, 59th minute. Both teams had been very close to scoring a goal. But I have a feeling Pumas is going to lose this match, bro. Leave it up to Pumas to, fuck shit up for Liga MX.
It's Pumas, man. They're the only team to have ever lost a CONCACAF final. Or the only Mexican team to have ever lost a CONCACAF final.
Damn.
You know what? I think if Efraín Juárez les va a dar a little morale boost, I think they're going to scratch the victory out of this one.
I forgot he's coaching there.
Nomás por Efraín Juárez.
I'm actually surprised that he is on the in the coach's box because he got kicked out in Liga MX this last week.
Oh, he did? What did he do?
He got a red. Oh my god, bro. He was very pissed about a call that happened, and he's yelling at the ref, and he's telling him, from what I read, from what I could read in his lips, he was telling him, "Eres una mierda." But the commentators kept saying that he was saying que eres malísimo. And I was like, that's not what the lips said, because the ref came right at him and boom, red. And he did not back down. Le siguió mentando la madre, like he kept going. And then one of another player got a red from the bench. Like, fue todo un pinche desmadre, güey. Which is why I like Efraín. Like, ese güey tiene huevos, como dijo, y como es que está ganando Cruz Azul ahorita, es cagando sangre, güey. Así es la única manera que vas a ser campeón. Cagando sangre, sacrificio y partirte la madre.
One of my favorite sound bites that was caught on camera was Juan Carlos Osorio in the Confederations Cup. He's like, "You with the bald head, motherfucker." That was like the funniest shit ever, bro. I want that as my ringtone.
It was so good. And the fact that he rubs his head when he says bald motherfucker.
Yeah, I wish we could get more of that being pumped in through our television instead of the fucking terrible broadcast we get on through the internet, fucking talking about everything but the game and plugging every ad in there. It's like the worst experience watching Liga MX here in the North America, or here in the States rather.
The TUDN broadcast ya son como esos YouTube videos que tienen the whatever interview plus some person building something on the side. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
No, or whatever TikTok or
Oh, I know what you're
YouTube
talking
used to do
about.
this.
They're like playing
Yeah,
video games while they're like watching a video or something.
exactly. You're like, what
Yeah,
the fuck?
yeah.
Exactly the same. Dije, esta madre no me dejan ver el partido. What the fuck, man?
I know. Yeah, for real. They got like they're just talking about everything, and then the fucking broadcast will go mini, and then it'll be like a full page ad. I'm like, bro, are you fucking crazy? Like, it's Champions League, bro. Why are you doing this?
Dude, it's not just in Champions Leagues. Like, if we're talking about sour grapes, I didn't catch the Chivas goal, the only goal that they had this last game, because they were like in mini screen. They had another, like, they had a commercial going, and I think they might have been on a replay. Like, did you guys see that goal like happen live?
Del Piojo?
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch the game.
Oh, I was like, wait, you only had one goal. Like, no te hagas tanto, okay? No te
Bro,
creas.
I'm so out of the touch, bro. I forgot they were gonna play against Sergio Ramos, and I know they had a clip of like him and Chicha like dabbing up before the game, but they're like trying to make this like a big moment. Like, bro, it's not that big of a moment, honestly. They're both washed.
They only played one season together. Cálmense, man.
I know.
One season together. One season at Real Madrid, papa. What else do you want? Sergio Ramos is one of the best captains of all time of Real
No, sí,
Madrid.
I understand that, pero para estar así que, oh, carnal, hermano, we went to battle together. Güey, fuiste nomás una season.
Dude, ¿a
Si
quién
hubiera
quieres
sido
que
Benzema
salude?
or somebody
¿Pinche
else, I'd be like,
Carlos
okay,
Costly de
cool.
Honduras o qué pedo, güey? ¿O al Carrasquilla de Pumas? No mames, güey.
Ah,
Sergio Ramos is a big signing for Liga MX. I still can't believe that shit happened, honestly.
Oh no,
He's
I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying like they make it sound like they go like way back, like him and Chicha go way back. Like they were
yeah, como
teammates.
si fueran hermanos de leche.
Yeah,
or
like they
something,
were
¿no?
like teammates for years. You know, it's like I bet you say I was like, oh yeah, I forgot you fucking played with us, bro. Like honestly, you were over here like on the bench, you know, most of your time here, and trying to get laid using the Real Madrid badge.
And don't forget the rumors of how Chicharito got to Madrid. And this is by America fans. At that moment, Peña Nieto was the president of Mexico. And they said that in order for Florentino Perez, because he owns a construction company, to give him the contract to Mexico. No, for Peña Nieto to give him the contract, that he had to sign Chicharito. And
Whatever.
that has always been the America's fans' biggest
That's the
excuse.
first time I've ever heard that shit, bro.
Bro, you didn't watch Dragon Ball Z, so that doesn't surprise me. It's like Mexican rumors, not like California rumors, all right? But the rumors in Mexico
Fucking rumors.
is that the only reason Chicharito played, and you heard Record, right? The newspaper?
Of course.
Record reported this. The only reason Chicharito played in Real Madrid is because, according to them, Peña Nieto would only give Florentino's construction company the contract if he signed Chicharito.
But he didn't even sign him. It was a loan, dog.
Well, you know what I mean by sign, like, he still signed him so long. But that's the rumor. I think it's a bunch of bullshit, but
Nah, that's
the
bullshit.
rumor.
He went there to sell jerseys. That I do believe. But, you know, what a crazy glow up for Chicha. He went from not getting any minutes at Manchester United to going on a loan to Real Madrid. I mean, that's insane, right? And, you know, his contributions to Real Madrid in that season were very limited, but it was the first time that he scored a goal outside the 18-yard box.
Dude, that first goal he had for Madrid, that's probably one of his best goals he scored. Fucking, it was against Deportivo La Coruña.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that sucks about that goal is that they're already winning like 6-1
they were already up
or some shit.
It was
They
like
were
4
up bad.
5-0, yeah.
And he comes in and he just puts in a fucking rocket
Banger,
from
bro.
like 18, 19 yards out. Fucking beautiful goal. If the game would have been 1-0, he would have became an instant fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like 7-0, 6-0.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden the fans were like, whatever, everybody else already scored a banger.
Everybody
that's what.
will. He still has a lot of like respect there because of the goal he scored against Atleti in Champions League. Even though they like cut to Ronaldo like celebrating instead of him, but I mean that was like a crowning moment for him for sure at Real Madrid. I think that's when all the fans were like, "Holy shit, man! Like this guy is the real deal." And I really hate that it was just for one season. I wish he could have stayed because he does so well when he has service. Like he makes the runs, and they already fucking got him. And I think him and Ramos did have a great partnership. Him and James too linked up for a couple goals. So I think even though it was a limited time there, he definitely did. He did a lot.
I don't know, man. I just feel like you guys jerk off to Chicharito stats.
It's not stats. I mean, we don't have any other player that has played at Real Madrid aside from Hugo Sanchez.
Yeah, it ain't stats, you dumbass chemo. It's facts. You have Santi Jimenez, your proud jewel, fucking up at AC Milan. They already want him
Sí,
out of the
güey, pero
city.
no me la estoy jalando cada momento que
Porque
hablan
no
de
tienes
él.
nada con que jalártela, güey. You got nothing. You got all bone. You got no meat, nigga.
That's
but
what I was gonna say. No hay nada, no hay ni goles. Well, hay golecillos nomás, pero nada emocionante.
he's about to score this goal against Napoli. Oh, he missed. He missed. And that's when you time the belt, right?
You ain't got shit, man.
Puros pinches
Ooh.
softies es lo que
Outside
trae
of
este güey.
Santi, who else you have? You got nobody. Oh, my bad. You got the guy, the defender, Camoranesi. That's how far you got to look back, Camoranesi.
Damn.
Sácate la verga.
Wait, I don't pay attention to the Euros. It's that simple. I really don't.
You were hating on Chicharito, and all of a sudden you don't pay attention to Euros. Cállate, güey. Come on, nomás das vergüenza, güey. Ya vete a la casa. Vete a dormir. But I'm gonna lie, them Chemos, sorry, I joined late. Some of you guys already talked about it, but them Chemos, man, they surprised me with that win over America. They really did.
All right, if we want to talk about surprising, what I am going to say that is actually extremely surprising is the fact that this team seems to be gaining form. They seem to actually be working together. It seems like if it's actually functioning and it's not just being pulled out by individuality of the players. They're actually functioning together, and it's fucking nice to see, man.
Are you saying you're a Vicente Sanchez fan all of a sudden?
Oh, I'm not saying that I'm a Vicente Sanchez fan. I'm just saying that the team is functioning well. So therefore, let's see how much further he can take it.
Dude, that celebration of Vicente Sanchez was very heartfelt, though. Le echó un chingo de espíritu. I was like, oh, okay. This guy's very happy.
Speaking of happy, you know who that reminds me of? Efrain Juarez right now with Pumas. I read a couple of comments like months ago that he was the cheap version of Vasco Aguirre. And at first I thought it was Mexicans being Mexicans just hating for no reason. But the more I look at him and I listen to his press conferences, like you can tell he's trying to imitate Vasco, dude.
Who?
He's a mix of Vasco and Piojo Herrera. And I don't know, it just doesn't feel authentic to me.
Who?
It's the Efrain Juarez, the Pumas
Oh,
coach.
for real?
Yeah, like on his press conference, he'll be dropping like Vasco Aguirre phrases, and then the goals he celebrates him like Piojo Herrera. It feels like he knows how to sell.
Hey, wait, wasn't he coached by both of them, though?
He was, he
Okay,
was.
so
So
there's a
maybe that's an
influence.
influence.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And
for
then
sure.
there's a third great mentor that he has that he said that like his style is derived a lot from him. Tuca. Like learning from Tuca and being with him is what he said has given him a lot of his style because he yells a lot during practices. He's very intense. He wants for the players to play a certain way. And if they don't, he's on their ass. And they asked him, it's like, yo, you've played under Tuca, you did all these things. And would you say that eres tan gritón como él? And he's like, you know what? When I was under him, I didn't understand as to why he was that way. But now being in the role that I am, I realize that all he wants is for us to execute the plan and be the best version of ourselves that we can be. And that's all that I ask for of my players.
For sure.
Yo, what's up, everyone? How's it going?
Hey, Rifado, how you doing?
¿Qué onda, Rufus?
Yo, good evening, everyone. Yo, I just wanted to jump in on the Puma hate. I'm watching this team. I have been watching them. My dad's a Pumas fan. So I've always kind of like had an eye on these guys. And the defense sucks, man. And Padilla, man, I really hyped him up at the start of the year when he came out the gate for Bilbao, like against Barcelona, looking good. But this goal tonight, man, that he suffers, it was he was there, man, and he fumbled it. Like this kid's kind of a spaz, and the defense sucks. They spent all this money on Magayan, this Argentine reject from Ajax, and he's so slow, dude. And they never replaced Mosso, dude. They got this guy Benevendo, who's more like a center back than he is a right attacking right back. So like I feel like they need to like splash on like that defense, or maybe give the other young goalkeeper a shot. But that's what's wrong with Pumas right now, and I think Efrain Juarez is a good coach. He did good in Colombia, and he's coming over here, and they they need to set him up to win. The Pumas directiva needs to fucking invest in this young up and coming coach and give him the resources to fucking make good, because I'm looking at them and they're mediocre, bro. They're pedestrian. And it's a shame because they're supposed to be a grande.
Bro, they're supposed to be a grande like 30 years ago. When's the last time Pumas won a title? 2008, 2007, something like that, against Atlante. Pinche Atlante
Nah,
ya ni
they
existe,
won one
güey.
like a while, like not too long ago. Maybe like 8 years ago or something, 7 years ago.
Pumas?
Yeah.
A title? You're smoking crack. A Liga MX title. Pumas hasn't won a Liga MX title since early 2000s.
2012.
Yeah, who was it, against Atlante? With Joby Bermudez?
Was it Toluca? No, I don't
Okay, it
remember.
was 13 years ago. All right, so it's a little bit longer than I thought. But you were saying a long ass time ago.
No, I don't even think it's
not that.
2012. I think 2012 might be pushing it. And if it is, it was against Joby Bermudez, man. Somebody look it up. Is there something called Google? Somebody look it up. But regardless, first of all, you were hyping up Padilla because he played for Bilbao 2 games, and you said he had to start the 2026 World Cup. Y ahora? Mira que. And Pumas, fuck, man.
Come on, he had a good game against one of the best teams in the world. Like, we're looking at Barcelona. Like, this might be a historical Barcelona, man.
Come on, Rifado. You're a smart guy. It's called sample size, my guy.
It is. But like, you can't like fucking criticize people for being like excited about a young player who debuts against Barcelona when there's so few Mexicans abroad, right? Like, you're like, oh, look at you, you're such a fool. You're hyped about this guy. But there's really nothing stupid about that. You have a young guy at a good team in Europe. Everything points to like, hyping this player up, or being excited about this player is what I mean. And it hasn't panned out. That's not to say it can't or it won't in the future. But right now it's not looking like it is. But I don't think that was stupid at all to like this guy or be excited for this guy.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but no, right now, if you look at a bunch of the goals that Pumas has conceded, he looks really iffy in a bunch of them, which makes no sense because, logically, Liga MX is supposed to be a downgrade from La Liga. So you think he will walk in with his dick swinging in the room like I'm that guy?
But I mean, you
And
compare
no,
the
he
defense that
looks
surrounded
nervous.
him at Pumas and the defense that surrounded him at Bilbao, and I'm sure you'll
No,
find a world of difference.
but it's not La Defensa. Like if you look at the goals, a bunch of the goals has been his like positioning or like the goal going under his arm. Like it just has looked terrible on his end. Because if he had a shitty defense, he would actually look good. If he was like a really good shot stopper, like Jurado at Veracruz. When Jurado was at Veracruz, he was stopping like fucking 12 shots per game. because Veracruz defense was so shit, and everybody said Jurado was the future of Mexican goalkeeping. And then once you actually put him on a team where he didn't have 12 shots against, but he had like 3 quality shots against them, he will fuck up on 2 of the 3.
Bro, I think you mean 3 of the 3. I had to watch Jurado play for Cruz Azul in the back, and it was fucking horrible, bro. Every single time that I saw the lineup and I saw him in there, I just knew that we were going to get fist fucked. Like, there was no way around it. We were going to be taking 5. It was fucking embarrassing. There's a reason why America has that 7-0 against us, and it's because of Jurado. Like, he fucking sucked. That game was the one that cost them the starting role. It was like, nah, bro, you're not the guy. Fuck out of here. And as soon as we could, we sold him. But now he's back at a 0 pressure team, which is Juarez, and he's performing really fucking well. It's interesting to see just how it is that plays out.
To answer a question asked earlier, Pumas' last league title was against Morelia in 2011.
I was just gonna say that.
However, they were runners-up in 2020.
Pero wait, un equipo que ya ni existe was the last time that they won. Like, just take that into account. The team no longer exists. Well, it exists, but like in the
Cruz
lower
Azul
levels.
once went 20 plus years without winning fucking a title, man.
No. Abdias
Hey,
is right.
Rich,
First of all,
coming from the Chemo.
it was
Go
a
on.
team that's no longer around, and then their comeback. I said this like 3 episodes ago. If you ask me, gun to my head, prove that there's match fixing in Liga MX, that Pumas Cruz Azul return game, that's the one I choose.
Yep.
Like, they bench Corona for the second leg. How you fuck up a 4-0, and it was COVID era too. Wasn't it like empty stadiums and shit? Like, to me, that is one of the most suspicious return legs I've ever seen. And Cruz Azul, even my grandpa, I've said this before in the pod, my grandpa's a die-hard Cruz Azul fan. And he's always told me, he's like, that match right there, it kind of made me give up being a fan.
Damn.
How the fuck are you 75 years old? You've been a Cruz Azul fan your whole life. And all of a sudden, like, this game makes you question if all the rumors are true.
Bro, that was the one where I tightened the belt and put a lemon in my mouth. I was like, it's happening right now, bro.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
But speaking about Cruz Azul, this kid that I've been watching for a while, waiting on to be good. What's his name? Andres Montaño. He scored over the weekend for Cruz Azul. Is he finally coming good for you guys? Abdias.
He has been coming in good, man. He's been our super sub, right? He goes in there, he does the job, and it's somebody that you can actually trust on it and know that he's gonna push and do the fucking job that you want. Now, even better yet is the fact that Rolo Rotondi is coming back into form, and not only did he get 2 goals, he fucking nutmegged the goalie to get a goal. So it was a hell of a match, dude. It was good. Now, the interesting thing is, I don't think I saw him in the Cruz Azul game last night, in the America game. So
I think he was subbed on.
Okay.
But there was a lot of hype around him because when Anselmi bought him from Mazatlán, they gave him the number 10, and he's been riding the bench for a long time. And now I'm finally seeing him come good. So I just wanted to see what someone who watches the Chemos a little more might say about him.
Yeah, no, I'm honestly, he's good. He's somebody that generates danger, right? I think that's the best way to put it. He's dangerous in the box. Está dispuesto a encarar, se parte la madre. Y al último, güey, ¿qué es lo que quieres de un pinche jugador? Especialmente de un delantero. ¿Verdad? Que les haga que les sude el culo y que tengan cuidado. Now, something that I want to mention really quickly, now that we're talking about Cruz Azul a little bit more, I just want to give a shout out to Nacho Rivero, the captain. Dude, over the last 3 years, he single-handedly has put the team on his fucking back. And game in and game out, dude, he puts in a great fucking performance. Doesn't matter what it is, leave it to a fucking Uruguayo to come in and show you how football's supposed to be played for the full fucking 90 minutes.
I don't know. I
Like,
always thought he was a hothead, man. Isn't he a red card waiting to happen every game?
he plays hard. That's what I'm saying. Like, leave it to an Uruguayo to teach you how it is that you're supposed to play the game with intensity.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm
But
not
at the
gonna
same,
lie. Them the Wilds, man. You know, when it comes to culture, food, music, you know, Mexican 100%. But when it comes to soccer ideology, if I was a Mexican, I'd be Uruguayo, man. Esa pinche garra Uruguaya. It's a whole different story, man.
I was
La
waiting on
famosa garra charrúa.
I was waiting on Suarez to bite someone today. I saw like they had a little scrap against LAFC. I'm like, oh, here it comes. Here comes the bite.
I was too, bro. I was watching and I was like, oh, ese pinche diente de caballo, ¿a quién le va a morder?
But even the bite, man, who else had a bite? Mike Tyson.
You know,
That's at the
that's the sort
level
of
they're
character we're
at,
missing
man.
nowadays, man.
We don't have
like
that spark,
antagonist,
man. You don't
that
expect our players to bite somebody. You expect our players
Look,
to pick them up and shit.
I don't think I hate a player more than I do Suarez. And like and even though like I hate him, I gotta respect for what he did in that World Cup in 2010. Like it was an automatic goal. That goal was going in. What did he do? He fucking sacrificed himself, put his hands on the ball, and was willing to do that to win the game. And guess what? They won the game. Like, as much as I hate that motherfucker, I'm like, I would have done the same fucking thing for my country.
That's what I'm saying, but our players don't think that, man. That whole game against Holland, I just kept remembering, like, take it against the fucking corner. Take it to the corner. Waste some time.
that World
Fake a
Cup,
foul.
the best
Nothing.
Uruguayan will always be Diego Forlan, man.
Oh yeah,
Him mastering the Jubilani or whatever that ball.
he put the
It's
team on
just-
his back, bro.
Yeah, but Suarez, man, this sort of guy leaves everything on the field, man. There's nothing, no regrets, because you know that guy gave it his all, and we're missing someone who does that. Just who's gonna get you over the line no matter what. Wish we had someone like that. I can't remember the last player like that.
I think Rafa, but Rafa would fucking just red card and call it a game, you know?
I would say
Nah.
Rafa too.
Rafa didn't have that. I would say
Nah,
now.
dude. In 2002, he's like, I'm just gonna fuck up, Kobe Jones, and like,
Jeez.
And that man went out to commit
bro,
murder.
that dude fucking. I'm
No, but
surprised he
see,
still stood after that. Honestly,
I see a difference because to me, Rafa was reckless, especially in big moments.
yeah.
And Suarez was more like tactical. It might come off as cheating, but there was like an actual thought behind it.
Well, we've never had a player like that. Then I mean,
Dude.
I'm sorry, we just haven't.
Ya que
Suárez
estamos
is-
hablando de la garra charrúa, you know that the Federico Valverde slide tackle, that last man standing, I'm sure you remember. You
Yeah,
just
against
telling me.
Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, exactly. That's
And
when it comes to garra charrúa, I always remember that moment right there.
and you know what I love about that moment? That is Morata's going on breakaway. He's about to score the winner. Sergio Ramos yells at him like, Mátalo, Mátalo. And Valverde like slice tackle him from the back, gets a red card. But what I love the most about that is that Cholo Simeone, being Argentine, he starts clapping. Like he's like, that was the smart play to do.
Tactical.
Mhm.
He's like, that was the smart thing to do. And that's what I feel U.S. soccer, Mexican soccer misses a lot, that we have that innocence. We even talk about Las Barras, the fans, they pick up the Argentine chants. Like they try to be like Argentina. We pretend that we're a soccer country, but it's not the same thing, man. You saw that video in Argentina when they asked them, what do you prefer, inflation for the next 50 years or a World Cup? And no, get rid of inflation or a World Cup. And they're like, a World Cup? They're like, we'll go hungry. It doesn't matter. We'll find a way. But just give us a World Cup. That's how fucking obsessed they're with it, man.
Damn.
It's been It's been said time and time again, bro. Argentines don't survive off of nourishment. They survive off of la pasión.
Dude, te voy a dar un example. So my daughter played today, right, for middle school. Y estamos hablando de how U.S. soccer kind of sucks. Dude, so una de las girls se cayó, and instead of keeping the play going because the ref no dijo que había foul, everybody stopped. I was like, what the fuck? Come on. Dale.
Wow.
Dale. And no, I was like, okay, whatever.
Bro, you gotta
Pissed
teach
me
your
off.
daughter to be more like
No,
Iñak and
mi daughter no
score when the
estaba, she's a
team.
defender, pero they were on the
Oh,
attacking.
Puma score.
Oh my
88th minute.
goodness. Dude, I am 3 minutes delayed then.
Yeah, you got the
Yeah,
crack
watching- I'm
streams
watching one of
out. Got
those
the crack
por-
streams out.
I watched one of those porno sites, Pelota Libre, man.
Wow, he got lucky on that one. Actually hit off the crossbar, and then he just was able to ricochet it back in. But Pumas in the 80th minute got the goal to take them to the semis.
You know, this guy's got like the worst name ever. Puseto? What kind of name is that, man? It's just, sounds foul.
Especially in Mexico, that's how you know that we're not racing soft kids, man.
Damn, so does this make Pumas versus Miami? Cruz Azul Tigres?
Is that how the bracket lines up?
It's yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh man, the inevitable Inter Miami.
Oh my. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, we've been talking so much shit about Pumas, but if Pumas pulls this off and they knock out Miami, I will stop talking shit like for 2 weeks.
They're not gonna, dude. Miami's
the
gonna win
same
that
page.
game.
I second that. But if they
Like-
manage to pull it off, wait, no mames.
If they do,
You know,
Like-
this Pumas team isn't that bad, man. They just need a pair of defenders, like a right back, maybe another creative.
They're not that
Oh,
bad.
my-
They're not that bad. They just gotta, reinforce the whole fucking team.
Cálmate, Chivas.
Three
just needs a
signings, bro.
BBL, a boob job.
3 signings,
A
man.
nose
Maybe a
job.
rhinoplasty,
Oh,
some
yeah.
lip fillers. You know,
Bro.
she's a
He
bad
signed,
bitch
bro.
down underneath. You're just broke.
Bro,
That's all it is.
it's like Chivas, bro. It's like, hey man, we're only like 11 players, from winning a championship. We just need a couple signings.
Cabrón.
I think Chivas might need more than 3. You know?
No, I said 11.
That's the sad part, bro. we're fucking trashing Pumas. I think Pumas needs 3 players. I think Chivas needs 5, bro. So
We need
fuck.
we need a new owner. How about that? Let's start there.
Ya comenzaron las protests.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no mames. Is there already protests?
Yeah, there's a couple of fans ya protestando. There's a couple
Wow.
friggin'
I don't even.
videos about it.
It's gotten so bad that I don't even know where we're at in the table. But I'm assuming we're out of the play-in.
Oh,
We are out of the
Chiquita, you
play-in.
are way down there. I look at you and I say, Hola, chiquis. ¿Cómo estás?
Wow.
Bro, we are out of the plane. And honestly, they could still make like some crazy comeback, but it would be
We're f-
horrible. It'd be like the worst thing they could do. Like,
We're only fighting for that 12th position, I think.
yeah, it's just accept your fate, be knocked out of the play-in, and let's move on.
You know what's the worst thing now that we're taking a moment to shit on Chivas?
Mm.
You know who's going to put the nail in your coffin, right? Your
El
arch
Puebla?
rival. No,
Atlas?
who are you closing your season with?
Con el Atlas.
And you know
No.
that Atlas is going to turn up, bro. They've been shit all season.
Bro.
But you
Oh.
know for this one, if they're like, wait, we get to seal them out. We get to
Wait,
make them
we're
slide even
not
lower.
even in contention right now. What are you talking about?
Wait, la rivalidad sigue.
It's the
No
battle.
mames.
It's the battle of the mid, bro. It's not even like, okay, if we were on the bubble, like in the 10th, 9th, 8th position, all right, now it's like, Atlas, it's time for you guys. But, bro, both of us are out of contention right now. We're not even near the play-in.
So here's a question I posed to fucking Chillon y le pregunté y no me la contestó. If we go to the play-in y llegamos a semi, así nomás hypothetically, how much would it hurt us as Chivas fans? Would it be ultra delusional pensar que, oh yeah, we don't need, nomás necesitamos uno instead of 5 or 6 signings?
Dude, that could be the worst thing to happen to Chivas to
Yeah.
make it to
Right?
semis.
That'll be the
Because
worst thing to
one,
happen.
Amauri is cheap. So
Yeah.
Amauri right off the bat would be like, oh, we don't need much. We're doing good.
They'll keep the
Maybe
fucking coach. They'll be like, oh, let's trust the
Nah.
process. He got us to semi. It's like what happened with Vuce, right? He got us to. Oh shit!
You know it's deceptional. Oh shit!
Vancouver
Who
scored?
Vancouver just scored, and with this,
Oh, Pumas.
oh, that means they're through. That means they're through on the
Pooh,
away goal.
Vancouver's through.
Oh,
Oh.
shit! It's the fucking.
No, you know what's the worst
No
about this?
mames, güey. En el 92 con
Oh
5
my
minutos.
god, we were talking about Pumas and semis. Oh, not
Dude,
too
you know what's the
soon.
worst about this? This is Vancouver versus Miami now. Miami's in the final.
Oh my god, they
Guaranteed Miami final.
atrocious defending on that play. What the fuck were they doing?
Pumas. Man, why did we... you ever seen that Malcolm in the Middle meme? Is like, even when I don't expect much from you, you still disappoint me. Like, this is it right here.
Hey,
Los salamos.
next year they're gonna eliminate the away goal rule for this. They're like, nope. Away goal rule is too powerful.
Pumas, no,
güey, they
mames,
can't. That's what gives it that extra
God.
spice.
I would have
It
liked
makes it
this
so
game to go to
good.
overtime, I'll be honest, but since Vancouver is playing in the high altitude and they were able to score 2 on the road, fuck them. Fuck Pumas, man. They deserve to lose.
Fuck Pumas. Fuck Pumas forever, man.
Well, there's 1 minute left. They might still be able to get one more. Who knows?
They ain't gonna get shit. Where's Tech Daddy at?
Oh, bro, it might get another one. This game's crazy. There's only 1 minute left.
I'm not gonna lie, these games today, they've been good, man. The Miami LA game was good. This game's been good too.
Wow.
LA was looking good, man. Honestly, I was hoping that they were going to be able to bounce out Miami. They looked dangerous. They were generating plays. But then just Miami did that shit that they do, especially when they don't play with a salary cap like the rest of the MLS does. Right? Because you can hide players' paychecks through bonuses, through like donations and all of these other things.
Yeah, but dude, that game had me
Tech Daddy ya llegó.
had me question a lot of things, man. Miami's lineup, they only had one American. It was like a kid named Allen or some shit, center back. Everybody else was like Argentino, Italian, or Uruguayo. And then the other thing, Yoris, man. So I never watched Tottenham games when he was at Spurs, nothing. Today was like the first game where I watched LAFC play. He could have avoided their 2 goals. All he had to do was jump up and catch the ball.
Mm.
And he was like, go watch the highlights. Like, if you guys haven't watched those highlights, go watch LAFC Inter Miami. The first goal is a golazo from Messi, but the second and third goal, Pinchy Yoris, who completely fucks up. All he had to do was jump and catch the ball. How he's considered like an elite goalkeeper, I have no fucking idea, man.
Wait, he was
Like,
the goalkeeper when they won the 2018 World Cup?
I think he was, and he was the goalkeeper for the one they lost against Argentina. But no, dude, it was terrible. Like, the first goal, he jumped out, but with his hands to his sides, and the ball went like above him.
Wow.
All he had was to put his hands in the air. And then the second goal, it was like a high ball, like in his 6-yard box, and his defenders were like fucking around trying to like head it out. And all he had to do was jump and catch it, but instead it hit his defender in his arm, and they called it PK. Like, both of them. Anyways, go watch the highlights. I just think he's terrible.
It's official, guys. Vancouver has eliminated Pumas in the 94th minute. Oh, it'll be in the semifinals.
Put Tech Daddy on the stage, man. Let's all shit on him. Let's all throw a tomato on him.
Damn, public execution.
Damn,
real.
dude. Just
This
when we
is
were
what-
talking about Pumas.
Güey, la neta, los salamos, güey. We talked.
No,
we were
no,
talking
los
so much good.
salamos.
¿Cómo
I
no, güey?
literally
Todos dijeron,
said,
oh, yeah.
no, I said
Obviously,
if
so
they
Messi
pull this
is
off.
Miami.
I said if they pull this off and they play Miami. We said if, because we know how Pumas are. They're so fucking terrible. They'll fuck up in the last minute like they did.
I'm just saying, güey, Los salamos, güey, neta.
Hey, you know what? This is perfect because Rifado was talking about Padilla, starting world keeper for Mexico in the 2026 World Cup. When he was in Colombia, he said, look at Efraín Juárez. He won the doblete in Colombia. We should make him Mexico's coach. Y al fin del día, valió pito.
Y nosotros, güey, diciendo que usaron la polymerization card, hicieron fusion de pinche Piojo Herrera y Tuca Ferretti y el otro güey.
No, I say he was a cheap version. I say
Por eso, güey.
he was a cheap version that played out.
He's the Timo version
He's
of
a
all of them.
Timu that played out, baby.
Yo, so I'm looking at these highlights from the Inter Miami LFC game. They didn't even get the first goal on camera. They were showing the replay, and Messi like just took the free kick while everybody was getting ready. That seems like super sus, bro.
No, they call that one off. They called it off.
Oh, okay. Oh, I just got to keep watching them then. I was like, that's crazy. They let him score like that.
Yeah, I'm a big Argentina hater, but no, it was more of an LAFC choke job more than anything.
Yeah, dude. I mean, look, you get to a certain point, especially as a goalkeeper, your reflexes aren't there anymore. And you have a big last name attached to you. You got a whole, resume. But I think at a certain point, the older you get as a goalkeeper, it's time to hang up the gloves.
Your mind might be sharp, but your fucking reflexes and your body are just not there anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the Ochoa era is over, right?
I don't know, man. Yes, he could pull a fucking Conejo Perez and take him to the World Cup. You never know.
No,
Hey,
the
wait.
Ochoa
I'm
era
just saying,
is
wait,
over.
this could happen.
I think,
bro, who's just playing Nations League? It's Malagon. Malagon is your 2026
I think Malagon.
World
Yes,
Cup starter.
I
I
agree
think
with that.
Malagon solidified his starting position in the World Cup, and I'm gonna have to eat crow, guys. I've been really like pushing Tala Rangel, but he's been fucking up pretty bad for Chivas.
Ass cheeks.
And I'm at the point now where it's like I don't even know if he'll go to the World Cup.
No, I think he'll go to the World Cup. I think like third string. Like he's been fucking up bad.
Yeah, he has. And it
But
sucks
no.
because the one or two critical saves that he gets per game is overlooked by the glaring mistake that ends up costing the game, And it sucks because he has great reflexes. He's good on his feet, right? And it's just last couple games, it's been pretty bad.
Güey, pero tampoco no le ayuda la defensa, güey. Pinche defensa, pinche Tiva. Piece of shit, man. Neta.
Well, I was about to say that, man. The thing with Rangel, I said this the last episode. I think it was like my closing thought. It pisses me off that we have to talk about like the best thing you can do for your career right now is leave Chivas. But honestly, I think it's the same thing with Tala. I think he's getting caught up in all the mediocrity of Chivas right now. That he needs to leave to a team where he can be developed a little more and like make the next jump. Because right now he doesn't have a chance at a championship. Right now he's like in limbo. And how the fuck are you gonna be the Mexico's starting goalkeeper being in limbo?
Well, when it comes to that, just being the starting goalkeeper for Chivas carries a lot of weight, right? So if you're performing well for Chivas, like that should be enough to get you on the national team. Despite
He's not though, man. He let in a howler this weekend against Monterrey. The third goal, it was pathetic by him, honestly. He's not in a good spot right now, like goalkeeping wise in club. So I don't see any reason why he's starting for the selección.
But no one right now on that team's in a good spot. No one.
No, he lost the starting spot.
Piojo for sure is like regaining form. That's the one bright spot I
He's
saw.
at like 2, 3 good last games, but let's remember, like before Nations League, he was fucking ass. He was one of the biggest disappointments in Chivas for this
Exactly.
tournament.
This whole tournament, he's been asked up until like 3-4
Well,
games
he's been
ago.
doing good for La Selección, though. That's the thing that matters.
Yeah, yeah.
That ain't the thing that matters. Club over country, motherfucker.
No, I'm just saying, like, despite his form with Chivas, it's not affecting his performances on the national team.
I'm the opposite, man. Country over club.
And
I mean,
who
look
pays
at
him?
Gio's career, bro. Gio's club career was ass, but when he I don't know what the fuck happened when he put on that green jersey, bro. Turned into fucking Superman.
And if you're the one paying the paycheck, you're gonna be happy with that.
Honestly,
one-
it was injuries, bro. It was injuries for
It was
Gio. But he
partying,
had like a
bro.
really good season for Villarreal, where he
I
had like
know.
double digits, like goals and assists.
Was
And
it
then
him and his
right
brother on
before
that team?
No, it was him and Uche. Well, actually, yeah, his brother was there, but I don't know if at the same time.
Mm.
But it was him and Uche and this Argentine kid named Vieto, who were like the three strikers, and they were just killing it that season. But before that, he was doing pretty good at Mallorca. So he had like 2 seasons where he was dope. And then his first season in LA Galaxy, he had like double digits and shit. So that's MLS though. So
Yeah.
and then he fell off even there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But I think he was definitely one of those players that when he showed up for the national team, he fucking showed up, bro. So with these final four in the Champions Cup, who do you think will take it all the way? Now that we have Tigres, Miami, Vancouver, and Cruz Azul.
Honestly, everything is set up for Miami to win it all, dude. Like I've said before, Cruz Azul are the perpetual losers. You know, they you can't trust them to win it because the norm has for so long been them losing it in the final moments, and then you have Tigres with the new coach. So much star power, and yet they're so unconvincing a lot of the time. And then you have the Whitecaps versus Miami. Like everything looks like the stars are aligning for Miami to take it.
You gonna take that, Abdias?
He's gonna blow you right now. He can't come to the microphone. But I'm
Choking on the
agree
lemon.
with Rifado. I think Miami looks good right now. They look hungry. They look like they want to make a statement, especially because at the end of the day, the players hear what's going on social media. They hear that they were gifted a position to the Club World Cup because they won supporter shield, which shouldn't mean nothing. That's like you were super leader of Liga MX and the FIFA president said, "All right, fuck it, you're going to the Club World Cup." Like that was just like a big ass favor for them. So you can tell they're trying to prove a point that they deserve to be there, and they look good, man. They look good.
Just imagine a
But
Tigres, a Cruz Azul, and Inter Miami final. That's gonna be star-studded, like quality, like player-wise. Like
I
in that
don't
final,
know, man. I'm not convinced by like the Cruz Azul backline. And
I'm
same
not
thing
either
with
by
their
either one of these teams. I just said, but
Whoa,
they have
whoa,
star
whoa!
power.
What the fuck are you talking
their
about? Their backline is
goalkeeper.
amazing.
Nah, man, their goalkeeper too is more like show, like newer, like coming up out of his box, playing with his feet. But as far as the actual goalkeeper saves, like deja mucho que desear.
No mames,
And then
güey.
Yeah,
Tigres,
he's a
same
good
fucking
goalie,
thing.
bro.
Tigres, they have a lot of like quote unquote star names, but they don't back it up in the league. And Tigres has never won in a fucking international tournament. So why
So,
should they now?
so Habibi, you touched on a good thing that I wanted to piggyback on in regards to Cruz Azul, and what they do defensively is adelanta líneas. They move up, right? And so like Rotondi, we were just talking about how good he was. He scored 2 goals. That means this guy, the right wing back, is in on goal. So he is so far from that defensive position he needs to be in. Right. And so when it goes wrong for Cruz Azul, there's acres of space for you to exploit. And so like there are vulnerabilities to this team because of the high line they play, and that can be exploited by a good team like Inter Miami. They don't have the fastest legs though, so it might be a good physical matchup for Cruz Azul.
I'm sorry, I was reading the Mexican press right now. Is talking about how they need to get rid of the away goal that the rest of the world doesn't
was
have
waiting.
it. So if this competition wants to take itself seriously, they have to get rid of it. No mames, way. It's a fucking amazing thing. All right, we need to keep it. We need to enforce that kill or be killed mentality, because you know what? You're raising a bunch of fucking pussies out there. All right, you need to teach them that they need to go out there y partirse la madre cada juego.
Yeah, but
That was my biggest concern.
The game
about
ends
the
in a
Cruz Azul.
tie, though. That's the thing that doesn't sit right with me. It's like, yeah, you got the goals on the road, but the game still ended in a draw.
That just tells me you're American as fuck, bro.
No, I just think
All
that they're
right.
like there
You know,
needs
that last goal, if you look at it, if you study it, like Pumas deserves to lose and be eliminated, because like you have this big spending on this guy Magallon, this Argentine center back from Ajax, right? If you look at him, he's in no man's land. He's not covering the guy with the ball, or one of the guys that can receive the ball and end up receiving the ball. He's in this no man land between the two, and that forces like everyone else to be man to man, 3-on-3, and that's where one of them gets the best of his defender to score the winner, right? And it's like you spent all this money on this guy who's like just marked himself out of the play in the most important moment, and it's just like, this guy's a fucking joke, waste of money. Again, Pumas invests wrong, no surprise there, but they did invest in Danny Alves, who was a rapist and in jail.
Yo,
Allegedly,
he got
allegedly.
cleared. He got clear of his charges, and
Recently, right?
he's actually suing Pumas for firing him under false allegations.
Wow.
Wow, pinche Latinx over
So
here
he-
right away trying to throw a good
he
man
settled-
under the bus.
Sounds like he settled
I
under
didn't
the
know that,
table.
but he was jailed, bro. He was
Nah,
jailed.
nah, nah. You
False
ask me,
allegations.
sounds like bitches lie, okay?
Bitches lie all of a sudden.
Wow.
Good for him, for sure. If he's innocent and he proved himself, like, hell yeah, dude. Like, but if not, then obviously, like, fuck that guy. Which is crazy, dude. You're like this rich celebrity, and you're like, doing that, which is so surprising, right? But it, like, whichever way you slice it, innocent or guilty, like, it's still a bad buy by Pumas, right? And I'm just saying, like, this is another bad buy by Pumas. This Magallon guy who fucking sucks and basically contributed to them losing and being eliminated tonight.
Yeah, and the whole Mexican press talking about the away goal and all this bullshit needing to be get rid of. Bro, Pumas was winning with 4 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
All they had to do was play smart, park the bus, and they give up a fucking stupid goal like typical Pumas. There's a reason why we've said this a million times. When you talk about los cuatro grandes, Pumas does not belong in that conversation. Right now,
Absolutely not.
It's America, Chivas, Tigres, Cruz Azul. Or you could even debate America, Tigres, Chivas, Toluca. But no way do you need fucking Pumas in that conversation. And
Chivas, maybe los
Yeah.
históricos. That's where you get Chivas. No mames, güey.
Chemo.
Cabrón, los grandes es América, Toluca, Tigres, Cruz Azul.
You can't even fill up your own stadium. America fills up your stadium.
Bájale con el
¿Cuál,
blue,
güey?
Bájale con el blue, güey.
Honestly,
No, güey, es el pinche cemento, güey. Neta, ya bájale esa banda también.
in short season, I gotta give some credit to Papachuca, bro. They've done a lot in a short amount of time. But they're a small market though.
It's not just that, bro. Okay. We can't just keep shitting on the fact que es un pinche pueblo pitero, because it is, right?
Es un
but
pueblo
the thing
mágico.
is,
Okay. Well, hold up. I'm gonna cut everybody off.
The thing is that they sell their squad every fucking season.
I just want the listeners to listen to one thing. We can all agree that Pumas does not belong in this conversation, right?
Yeah, that is true.
All right, continue.
Across the board, everyone can agree on that. Now, what I was saying was The problem with Pachuca is the fact that they sell their players. Like they are a selling club, right? They sell to everyone in the league and they try to sell internationally as much as they can. Granted, they sell to the lower levels, so it doesn't generate a lot of buzz. Like they're willing to sell players to the second division, but they have to rebuild the team every year. That's why they have to play with morritos all the time.
Yeah, which makes it more impressive, like the amount of titles they've racked up, not just locally but internationally too in CONCACAF. I
You
gotta.
know, speaking about Pachuca, did we all talk about how like their game wasn't aired against America?
It wasn't aired.
We
They
haven't
didn't
gotten
We
air
into
it.
haven't
that.
talked about that yet.
What?
So yeah,
No,
bro,
sir.
Wait,
because of the
¿dónde
Club World
putas
Cup,
has
bro.
estado?
Bro, I have
And under a
not
rock,
been.
man.
I've been. Yeah, for real.
Hey,
¿No te llegaron
Pachuca's
los
got
smoke
balls,
signals?
dude.
They go in the
They're
ball.
throwing down with Televisa right now, dude.
I thought it was Fox Sports, though. Oh, well,
Oh,
Fox
okay.
Sports. Todo ahí es un puto desmadre, güey. Let's
All
just say
right.
that.
All right. I've been keeping my ear to
Matias,
the ground on this one. So
go for it.
I kind of know what it is. So when the Fox Disney merger happened a couple years back, I don't know if you guys remember that, Disney went ahead and sold off its Latin American branch of Fox Sports,
Mm-hmm.
right? But not Fox Deportes. They sold off Fox Sports. So entonces, Fox Sports Mexico is a completely different entity
Mm-hmm.
than Fox Deportes on Tubi.
Oh, I didn't know that.
¿Verdad? Yeah, two completely different companies, don't have anything to do with each other. So, Fox Sports Mexico had the rights to the Pachuca game, had the rights to all of those things. They also are the same people. I don't know if we talked about it here on the pod openly and on air, but they're also the ones who shit the bed with the NFL contracts where they weren't paying the rights, the transmission rights or the broadcast rights, sorry. So the NFL ended up pulling all of their games off of Mexico and they ended up giving them to Televisa. So now if you want to watch NFL in Mexico, you have to go through Televisa. The same thing happened with MLB. They no longer carry MLB because they decided not to renew the MLB contract. And then MLB came out and said that, no, you guys haven't been paying. So once again, we got out of there. And now lo que pasó fue que as they're fighting, Fox Sports Mexico is fighting the fact that the games are now being aired through Tubi, through Fox Deportes, where they don't have a finger in there, they're not going to get any money. They went to a judge and they got a court order where the game wasn't allowed to be broadcast on television anywhere. Doesn't matter if it was in the US or Mexico. So therefore, Pachuca didn't allow for the cameras to come into the stadium because it would be in violation of that court order.
That's crazy. I'm looking at the highlights on YouTube directly from TUDN official YouTube channel, but it looks way different. There's actually no commentary or anything, and the camera angles look really off. So I'm confused.
Because they're giving you the VAR feed.
Oh,
That's what you're watching. Because they said there was a statement put out by the league about how VAR will still function without any interruptions and things like that. So there was still cameras there, right? But it wasn't
that's
able to be
crazy.
broadcasted. It was such a fucking giant shit show. And now Televisa is going to be suing Grupo Pachuca and I think whatever the local government is for damages and losses because this was a game that was supposed to be aired on the US over open air on Univision.
Univision, yeah.
Like open as fuck. And then I turned it on and because I wanted to see, I was like, wait, no mames. Because then like Pachuca came out with a letter, a bunch of people came out with a letter as to what was happening and how no. Televisa has the rights to broadcast in the U.S., this court order doesn't impact anything happening in
You know,
in Mexico, or sorry, in the U.S. And then so I tuned in to see what the fuck was going on. Y nada, güey. They were showing La Rosa de Guadalupe.
I was like, now that you mention it, I realized I was like, because I was at home at the time and I was like, what's on TV? And I saw that it was on my guide. Like I have YouTube TV. It's like Pachuca America. I'm like, I don't really want to watch this game, but let me see what the score is. And then I click on it and it was just like a replay of like a Mexico game. I was like, oh, maybe they like messed up or something. Like maybe it was like the wrong time or something. I had no idea that nobody was able to watch the game. That's crazy.
Yeah, no one was able to watch the game. It didn't get broadcasted. And
It looks like
honestly,
there was a scrap there too. I'm looking at the highlights. There was like a fight.
That's exactly what I was going to tell you. Hey,
Mi
pero
gallo,
here's the
Brian
double standards.
Gonzalez got a red.
No, pero there was the fans también se agarraron a putazos. Here's the double standards. No news media covered that shit. Fucking America fans were going. Well, I'm not gonna say all America. There was one America fan that I saw that was going into the palco y se quería agarrar a putazos con one of the Pachuca fans, and the Pachuca fan was like, "Hey man, just you know, step back. I don't want to fight you." Así me mirado the body language. I obviously I can't read lips, but no news media covered that shit at all. Ah, pero cuando Chivas tiran un pinche bote, it's in the fucking, en todas las pinches news media, which is,
como dijo el pollo, güey, allá los protegen.
fuck yeah.
not just that, let's remember there was an extra 14 minutes of added time, aka se acaba el juego cuando gana el América.
Wow.
Okay, man.
Dude, I want to give a shout out, speaking about that, to Thought Mob, like the app that gives like player ratings and shit. Cause I was following the game through that app and I was like, how do they know? Like, how the fuck do they know?
Bro.
There's like 10 minutes, 12 minutes aggregate. I'm like, it has to be a glitch. It has to be a glitch from the fucking app. There's no way there's 14 minutes because the ref had gave 6. I'm like, why are they playing 13, 14 aggregate?
Habibi, I don't know why. I thought you said Thought Mob, bro. I was like, what?
Or what's it called? Food Mob? Thought Mob?
Bro, I was like,
oh,
bro, I need a rub one out, bro. I've been too horny. No, Thought Mob. It's FOTMOB.
Okay. Well, regardless, that app, I was curious as hell the whole time. I'm like, do they have somebody at the stadium? How the fuck they know it went from 6 minutes to 14 aggregate when no one's streaming it?
Yeah, I'm sure there's still, people in like press and all that go to the game and they have the minutes of the game. I don't know. I have no idea. That's good call out though.
So yeah, guys, the shit show that's happening in Mexico right now regarding broadcasting rights, it's fucking beautiful. And honestly, my thought is it shows how things play out once the investment fund fell through. Right? Because a lot of the news that started to come out as soon as that shit was like it was breaking news was the fact that Grupo Pachuca's being damaged due to the fact that they were the biggest driving force behind the vote of no confidence when it came to vote on the Apollo Fund. And now it's, Televisa not being given the rights and all of these little things starting to come about where you're like, wait, if we just would have signed it, it would have been good. Like, we wouldn't be having these conversations. Our league wouldn't seem like it's a fucking joke. But yet, here we are.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on with El Estadio Azteca? I don't know if like an old photo leaked out, but it looks like they haven't done absolutely dog shit to it.
Oh, speaking of dog shit, you gotta look at that. And today, Mauri they had like a big Guadalajara convention where they came out with a flag for the 2026 World Cup for Guadalajara. And it looks like some shit you would see like on the kids' TV show.
I know. I saw that shit.
It looks fucking terrible, man.
weren't they saying too que the last couple of games se van a jugar en el Jalisco because they're gonna start remodeling some of the stuff in el Akron too?
That's what I was about to say. How do you guys feel about being homeless and having to go play back at
Güey,
Jalisco?
Hey,
el
Jalisco's
Jalisco es nuestra casa.
Homeless? Okay, first of all, Chimo, that's original home. And if someone's gonna point the finger at homeless, you're the last person to point that out.
we still
When's the
have
last
stadium
when's the
rights there.
last time you had a stadium, man?
¿Cuál stadium rights, güey?
We own 50% of that stadium.
We still own that like part of that stadium. It's not Atlas's.
Toma la papá.
When's the last time you owned a
Es el
stadium, Chimo?
municipio.
He doesn't
You
know.
look-
He doesn't know anything about owning property, bro.
The
Cruz
fuck?
Azul doesn't own any.
You're a fucking couch surfer, my guy.
He's out here paying rent. Yeah. No, I saw the art for all three. I haven't seen the one for La Azteca, but I saw the one for Monterrey. I'm like, okay, but the one for Guadalajara, it's such a disservice, bro, for such an iconic city.
Yeah, it was terrible. Expected like something I would see like from a Disney kids TV show for a soccer World Cup, not pinche Mexico, Guadalajara, pinche Mundial. You know, just disappointed. And then the other thing I noticed was I follow Mauri on Facebook, and every time he posts about Omni Life, everyone kisses his ass in the comments. It's all like Omni Life, what's it called, Pyramid Scheme members. Like Amaury, you're the best. Amaury, you're our hero. And for the first time, it's a bunch of Chivas fans just ripping his ass on his post. So I don't know what that means. La afición no está contenta.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, Jaime's about to start selling off all of his Chivas gear.
No, mames. I'm not because we are.
You know,
It looks. Go ahead. What happened?
Sorry. What's it called? We were talking about the merits of Pachuca and how they're a good selling club, and I feel like that's the route that Chivas needs to go to. They need to be a good selling club. They've invested a lot in the cantera, in producing talent,
No.
and they have
No.
like a good base of
No.
talent, and like they need to do like they do with Chiquete,
No.
sell,
No.
and then eventually get a good team, and then they'll have their prospects all over Europe hopefully. But
Oh
I
my
don't see them competing
goodness.
like like toe to toe with the money of Televisa or one of these Tigres, or or one of these Regio teams. It's
Okay.
just not gonna happen.
Bro, just
The-
stop. Okay, first of all, don't say they. Say him. It's not a Chivas thing, it's some Maori thing. Two,
Hey, wait,
stop
también
putting
sus sisters tienen pool, güey.
also stop putting country over club. Like just stop. Your club comes first. Why should you invest in your fuerzas básicas? Why should you pay payroll so your country reaps the rewards?
because it can be very profitable. Like
It
the
can be
market for
fucking
Mexican talent
profitable,
is
man.
very profitable.
It cannot be profitable at all. At the end of the day, if you play in the top club, I hate to do this. So you're making me compliment America, and this pisses me off. America, they sell Raúl Jimenez, Edson, Lainez because they're winning titles as a club, and they sell them in Europe for 15, 20 million. Not because Lainez was amazing for Mexico. Same with Edson and same with Raúl. When Raúl gets sold for 15 million in Europe, Chicharito's a starting fucking striker. Raúl is still a nobody in Mexico.
Yeah, but these teams are like
No, they
outspending.
get sold
Like
for what they do at their club.
No. But
Because
all these teams outspend Chivas
the clubs that
year
are
after year,
buying them,
and they
they
can
care
replace these
about what
guys.
these players are doing at their club. When Chicharito got bought for fucking Manchester United, it's because what he was doing at Chivas, not because he scored a goal in his debut against Bolivia. What matters is your club. And also stop giving Amaury this fucking excuse like, Amaury, you don't need to invest. Just come up with cantera, sell them to Monterrey, Tigres, Cruz Azul, America, make some money, let's be a feeder system. Like you're giving Amaury what he wants to hear, that he doesn't have to invest. Just be a feeder system.
I said this before, and it's like the definition of insanity is to try the same thing, expecting a different outcome. and Chivas like wants to operate like a chiqui grande, like a fake grande, because they don't have the money, the resources that a real grande has. Like if they keep going that route, that would be insanity, right?
That's not a Chivas thing. That's an Amauri thing. Get rid of Amauri.
It
That's
is
all
a
you need to
Chivas because
do.
those two things
Get
are
rid of
synonymous with one
Amauri.
another now. I know you like to, have these fantasies that he sells it or something, but for the nonce, the two are one.
No,
And
my
so yeah,
fantasy is now that he sells. My fantasy that there's a Luigi Mexicano out there.
God, Durham.
fuck yeah, dude.
That's crazy. Hey, so they said that the game between America and Pachuca wasn't broadcasted because they knew that Pachuca was going to beat them.
For real, what's up with that? Somebody look up the stat. I think what I read is that America has beat them once, like in the last 7 games or some bullshit like that.
8 games.
8 games? What is that? What is up with that?
Hey, but I think there's some context that we need to take in mind.
Se llama
America had a
patronato.
jovenazo center back pairing for this. It really tripped me out. Like, what the fuck? Actually, it's not that surprising. They had a game midweek, right, where they got eliminated by Cruz Azul. But they had Miguel Vasquez and Ramon Juarez, and it's usually just one jovenazo, right? Not both of them. And so, like, they also had some other people that aren't like starters. So, that's probably why they lost. But it is good for the league because it shows us that this team's not invulnerable.
I'm actually curious to know if Edgar Cruz has debuted for America. He was a player that was developed here in Oakland and played for the Oakland Roots and was recently acquired by America back in February. I haven't heard or kept up with him since.
I don't have him down in my list, so I don't think so yet.
Just more meat into the grinder, bro. Like he's not gonna get a spot. He's not gonna get a breakout role. Now, really,
they've done interesting things with their cantera. Like they started the first 2-3 games like all cantera, and right now like they're starting a bunch of canteranos, man.
Whatever happened to Musumbito? He was supposed to be the next big Mexican forward, and I haven't heard from him in a while.
Damn, we got Albert here. ¿Qué onda, carnal?
I have.
¿Qué onda? ¿Qué onda? ¿Cómo estás? I still haven't changed my what's it? My fucking my fire
battery?
detector batteries.
Damn, bro.
You know what? I get, and like 2 days later, I finally got your comment about how you thanked me for being Hispanic, huh? And then I realized it was for the fucking batteries.
Damn.
By the way, Abdinos, I don't mean to correct you, but El Jalisco is owned by an organization called Clubes Unidos de Jalisco, which involves Chivas, Atlas, Leones Negros, and I think like a 3rd division team, Club Tafesa Jalisco. So technically, El Jalisco is their second house. It's like, it's like having a penthouse in New York or some shit like that.
Sí, güey. Y la vieja de la fonda que me echo yo y media de la cuadra también es mi vieja, ¿verdad?
Damn, bro.
Wow, bro. Wow. But come on, Cruz Azul doesn't even have a house. It's like Charger fans talking shit about Rams fans.
Mira, güey, on the way down, we're all throwing putazos. That's all that matters.
See?
Ahora, really quickly, to combine forces y putear al que sí importa, I wish Joel was here, güey. Así le puedo partir la madre about his whole thing of like, no es un fracaso lo de la América y quién sabe qué. You know what Línea de Cuatro literally just did? They opened up their show with these statements of Escárraga talking about how they need to go for the Conca Champions, how every title that you're in, every competition that you're in, you have to compete for the title.
Wow.
And then they went to that big parade celebration that they had with all their fans after that they won the 3-peat. Cuando les dijo, me comprometo a traerles el trofeo de la CONCACAF a la mejor afición de México. Y ¿sabes qué? Ni vergas, puto. Entonces, usando las propias palabras, el video de Televisa, todo lo demás, le están partiendo la madre. Y ahora, El último pinche clavo en el taur is the fact that they made a Twitter poll where they asked, can you still be a grande without any international titles? And the resounding answer with like 58% is no.
No. You know what? I think indirectly this international failure raises suspicions of, okay, so why are they successful in Liga MX? Well, maybe because
but don't they
they're
have the
favored.
most CONCACAF Champions Leagues?
Yeah, but not lately. When's the last one they won?
I mean, they still have the most, right? So
They
I
do
mean,
have the
when,
most.
when did they win the last one?
They have a chronometer on Línea de Cuatro, güey. 8 years, 11 months, and 18 days.
I mean, this is la época de oro de la América, supuestamente. So why aren't they fucking winning internationally?
They have 7 though, bro. I mean, you
Hey,
can't
I'm
really.
gonna play.
Cruz Azul, Cruz Azul has
You asked
6.
me,
Can this be
you
called a
asked me,
dynasty or no? Porque no han ganado international
Hey, I'm
titles.
gonna play devil's
hold
advocate
on.
for both sides.
I
So
just
yeah,
want to say,
America hasn't
I
won
just want to
international for
obligatory
both
fuck
sides.
America. But with that said, like if we look at that match against the Chemos, it could have gone either way, man. They
But
they
it
had so many
didn't though. It
opportunities.
didn't go
but
your
it
way.
did. In Liga MX,
It
it did,
didn't,
but not
but
here.
it's not like they got their shit pushed in hard as fuck. It was a
But
close game.
they couldn't. They
Wait,
didn't win,
couldn't
though.
close out
They
a
didn't
team
win.
they owned. They couldn't close out a fucking team they've owned.
All
They
right,
didn't
now
score at
really
home.
I mean,
quickly.
the last time it was close too.
Rifado,
Cruz
you
Azul
watched the game,
barely
right?
lost.
Lo
I did.
vistes. All right. How many times were the America players crying and begging for a call? Versus Cruz Azul, they just got right the fuck back up and kept on playing.
I don't know what it is about Zendejas, man, but I can't.
That's called
stand to hear that
conditioning.
fucking
That's called
bitch at the fucking press,
conditioning.
dude.
They're used to getting it their way. They're used to getting these bullshit calls that when they don't, they're bewildered. So now here you are again, right? So once again, this is the third time that I'll say it. They're nothing more than Mazatlan dressed in yellow. Sin el arbitraje, no son verga.
Bro, even Necaxa has a CONCACAF Champions Cup.
And now, if you
speaking
want to
about
talk
Necaxa,
about the most,
that's my dark horse.
Atlanta
Atlanta
too.
has a fucking CONCACAF Cup.
They have 2.
Oh,
But
that's
That's my
true.
dark horse to win it all this year. I mean, this tournament. And I saw them this weekend. I
bro,
got
that's
the
not a
press
dark
pass
horse.
to go see Cholos versus
They do have a dark horse though.
Necaxa in the Estadio Caliente. I had a great time.
Oh, you went to that stadium?
I did. I
Habibi, you're
got to be on
funny.
the
Father,
field.
you were
I took a
caliente?
bunch of photos, and it was great.
Eh,
And
Rifado.
Larcamón, he's got this team. I think they've won their last 4 matches. They're fourth in the league right now, but they're tied or they're only 1 point behind Cruz Azul. Like I think they have a good tournament style, style like that'll help them in like knockout rounds, right? Like this counterattacking high press. So 5 in the back. Emilio Lara, great player, and then what's that guy's name? The one you call Pele Cambido. What was his name?
Deber cambido.
Yeah, he's been
Mandingo.
injured. He's been injured. He had like a head injury, I think. He didn't
Rifado.
play. Yeah, go ahead.
Rifado. Did you have the colitas de puerco at Estadio Caliente?
No, I didn't have the colitas de puerco.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
He had Chinese food, okay? He went to TJ.
Hong Kong.
But that's down the block.
He got Chinese
is it?
food.
Colitas de puerco is practically pig ass. And they sell it for $10.
He
And
got
they put a chamoy and they put a bunch of lemon y ándale. You can't find that at fucking BMO Stadium, to tell you the truth.
he got a little different kind of colita over there.
Nah, dude. Hey, but I did have a great time, man. They really treat us well, and I signed up for as Food Mex Nation, as well as Cantina MX, and they approved us, man. And
Hell yeah.
You know what's funny about that stadium?
kudos to
You know what's funny? So they do the fan ID and they check you. But when
Yeah,
you go through the
yeah.
back of the stadium, they're fucking buildings, so you could fucking pick up a fucking piece of fucking cement and fucking throw it at somebody. So I don't get.
everyone was really chill, dude. Like,
Nah, it's
there's
cool.
a lot of
It's-
people
it's-
like
it's- it was fun.
tailgating with the banda and the barbecues. It's just it goes hard, man.
I
Wow.
went for the Cruz Azul game, so it was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I met this reporter from Aguascalientes. They were covering the Caxa, and we were kind of on a little adventure. We were looking for our vests, our press vests, or else they wouldn't let us onto the field. And we almost went into the tunnel where the players are, where the locker rooms are, and
Should have went
they were
down.
gonna give. I should have, man, but I was like,
Should have
nah, I
saw
don't
that
wanna get-
Mandingo in person, bro. Report it back.
I didn't want to get 86, bro.
Wait, just for the no hablo español.
No,
Your accent's there. Like,
just
you got it.
You just gotta act like you belong, bro. You know,
That's all you gotta do.
cause like that happened to me not too long ago. I was just like, you just act like you belong there, and then they'll direct you and be like, oh, my bad, I didn't know I couldn't go down this way.
Like one time, I ended up behind Mayweather and Pacquiao, and I acted like I don't know where the fuck I was going.
Yeah, dude, I was at the Sporting KC Inter Miami one. I was in the locker room with the players. I should pretend it was a player family member just chilling, walking around. Like, you just gotta pretend you know where you're at.
Hey, you know, they were pretty cool. They were leading me there, but I knew better than to go that way. And I was like, nah, I don't think I should go. And then I called up the rep, and they directed me to where I needed to go. But like, there was a lot of fans, and you know, Tijuana's 16th out of 18th place right now. You know, I think they've won one in their last 5. You know, they have the worst defense in the whole league. They just let go of Juan Carlos Osorio, and the raza still coming out supporting them. Like,
Hey,
it was a
they have
crazy pack.
they have the biggest screen, the biggest stadium screen in Latin America. That's you know.
Do they? It looks big. You know,
Yeah,
it's a nice stadium.
it's the
You
biggest
know,
in
I
Latin
just wish the
America.
grass was real.
But
You know,
does the stadium sell out because fans want to see the away team?
Well, when I went for Cruz Azul, it was a big team. When I went to Cruz Azul versus Cholos, it was mostly a Cholos crowd. There was a lot of Cruz Azul fan because anybody with a Cruz Azul jersey on had to go into the south end of the stadium with security detail. But it's a honestly, majority's Cholos fans because you know what? It's a fucking good time. They play music. The fucking you fucking snack on fucking 10-pound bags of Doritos.
Oh
and
shit!
not
and
just
the
that,
players-
bro. Superstars, Carlos Jr., bro. They
Oh
bring
yeah,
it right
they
to you.
start to in your seat. Yeah,
Wow.
Get
It's
a
how
big
to be alive.
You know what? I need to make that trip when Chivas are in town.
Hey,
Yeah,
Rifado,
yeah.
try the tacos a mi chante. They're pretty good.
I mean, Chante, you'll have to type it in the chat, dude, because I don't know how to spell that.
He's a no sabo kid. You gotta spell it
No,
out for him.
I'm not a no sabo kid.
In the stadium, man.
I typed a few ensayos, you know.
There's a lot of necks. The
Books,
salsa
Spanish.
can't be
He's a
spicy.
Latink. He's a Latink. You know what's a crazy fact? The last time an America game was not broadcasted was in 2017 against Lobos WAP because they didn't have a TV contract.
Mm,
The magical Lobos WAP way.
That's
sounds like
crazy.
nice Liga MX story.
Mhm.
Hey, Alberto, El Beeper, I wanted to tell you a story. You had asked what happened to Mozumbito. That's what you asked about, right? When you joined the talk.
Yeah.
So right now in the U.S., there's a cup called Copa New Orleans. It's basically where all the drug dealers get together and they sponsor their Sunday League team. And Mozumbito, he's on the Houston team with Marco Fabian and Jesus Dueñas, the one that used to play at fucking Tigres. Jesus Dueñas from Tigres. So it's Marco Fabian,
That's
Mozumbito,
wild.
and Jesus Dueñas. And they're in like quarterfinals right now. But yeah, dude, look it up. Copa New Orleans. You'll see a bunch of like former Mexico players, and they're all like reinforcing these Sunday League teams. And if you read the stories, they'll tell you it's like local businessman trying to win the tournament. No, man, the fucking registration fee alone is like $40,000.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's like a big Mexican Sunday league. And Chivas Alabama, who like 2 years ago they had Adriano, like Brazilian Adriano.
Oh shit!
What?
They got knocked out early. They were
The
expected to make the
hell?
semis. So Chivas Alabama is doing that and Sunday League, Liga MX, all over the place. But yeah, look it up. Sunday League. So in Mexico they call it talacha. So
Yeah.
all the talacha superstars are coming here to the U.S. because they make way more money, obviously, and it's picking up steam, man. All these tournaments,
Wow.
they're hot. But look it up, Copa New Orleans. If you're bored
You know
tonight,
what's
you can't
crazy? Because
fall
these guys are
asleep.
probably making like 50,000 a year, dude. And they're like, "Fuck yeah, dude."
Fuck it. It's free
No,
money.
yeah, they are. They're making good bank.
Hey,
So
why is
one of
it
them,
Chivas Alabama though? Do they all like fuck each other? Is that why?
no say, some business guy from Alabama. He's always had money, but not all the other teams are starting to
The
get big
hell?
funding. But dude, there's this guy, this Talacha guy from he went from Brazil to Mexico and he played like in second division and he made more money in Talacha than playing second division.
Wow.
And now he's one of like the hottest like recruits in Talacha. And now he's playing here in the US. He gets paid like $1,000 per game, which is fucking crazy if you think about it.
Damn,
Because
bro.
they'll play like 7, 8 games a
Like I
week.
remember back in the early 2000s, my dad was a soccer ref, and there was a league in Long Beach, and we started seeing like ex Chivas guys, for example, I don't know if remember it was a tall center defender. His name is Loera. He was there. Then a portero Toksky. So it started like around 20 years ago, and then it just I mean, Gule Peña plays for a fucking team in LA. So
Wow. That's crazy, man. You end up seeing players. You're like, damn, bro. Used to be a big deal. Now you're just like over here chilling, like a regular person. That's me and Jurgen Damm. I'm like, dude. I remember this kid was, he had trials at Man United, and was gonna be like our next winger for the next 10 years, and now he's playing second division ball in Oakland.
well,
You,
Marco
you know what it is, man?
obviously it's not Talacha, but for the team, for the indoor soccer team he was playing for, or still plays for right here in Ontario, he was brought by a businessman who had the money to fucking hire him and fucking have him play for the club. So I mean, if you're a businessman, if you have money, you could fucking build quite a fucking team.
So I just wanted to touch on Jurgen Damm. He should be a cautionary tale for any young Mexican talent, and it's a tale to warn you against the dangers of going to
Of
Tigre.
Tuca?
That's where young players go to die.
Damn.
And look at all our wingers. Look at all of our young attackers just rotting at Tigres. Like none of them is
Zed.
prosperous.
Hey, what
Yeah.
was the name of
Marcelo Flores.
the guy from the 2011 under 17 champion que se echó a perder en Puma en Tigre? Was fucking
Espiricueta.
Espiricueta, yeah.
Yep, Espiricueta.
Yeah. Also, Richard Sanchez, I mentioned it on our last pod. He was he was the starting goalkeeper for San Antonio. He was the goalkeeper that helped win the under 17 World Cup for Mexico.
In 2005 or 2011?
2011. Yeah.
2011.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. You see these players like, what the fuck? I wanted to mention something that I saw a clip of Chiquete Orozco, and he talked about Paunovic and how he changed the game for them, and how like before him they didn't watch film and they had a game plan for every kickoff, and how like they almost scored a goal because that's how obsessed Paunovic was with tactics every single week in and week out, and they never had the same tactics for every single team. Like it was different. And I'm like, dude, how atrocious is coaching in Mexico that they're not even doing the bare minimum, which is like watching film?
You know what's crazy, man? Is that like how fucking like out of the norm is Paunovic that he's getting fucked up for this shit. Like players are racking him up. Like damn, dude.
Hey, we don't do that stuff in Mexico. We're not professional. We're just doing this for fun. You're taking
Like,
it too
hey man,
serious.
get out of my head, okay? Can't take this shit anymore.
He's like, if I wanted to go to school, I would have stayed in school. I don't want to study. I don't want to watch film. I just want to play and fucking party and fuck girls. I feel like that's just like the mentality in Mexico, no?
That's the mentality in Chivas, man. No quieren hacer the bare minimum. They don't want to study. Así como quieren progresar, man.
But
like,
he also got
I
booted
just
from.
imagine.
He got booted from Tigres too, though. That's the thing. It's like
Yeah,
it's not
Dude,
just
but in
Chivas.
Tigre,
No, for the
He must
same
be that
reason.
annoying guy, dude. He must be that annoying dude that you like, that you don't believe. You're like, este güey's fucking mamador. This guy's fucking, mamadas, And
No, I think he got booted for the
I don't
same
think they buy
reason,
it
man.
after a while.
The players are stars. They've won titles before.
Mhm.
Who's this guy coming in, telling them to run tactics, watch film? They got to run this against this opponent, or they got to try a trick play at kickoff. Like, who the fuck are you? What is this? Like your
Yeah,
first year coaching?
honestly think that's the vibe, bro. Because I mean, especially coming to Tigres, that's tough, right? Tigres have a lot of titles, especially in the last decade. You could arguably say that they were the most successful Liga MX team, and it's like, who the fuck are you? You have no titles under your name.
So like, look at it like this, man. He gets fucked up and then chased. I mean, and then he leaves fucking Chivas because he's toxic, right? And then he goes to Tigres, and the fucking veteran player fucking leads a coup
I
and takes
know,
over your
bro.
position,
I
Doug.
know.
It's
That's
like, what the
crazy.
fuck? And it just goes to show you that like they don't respect this fool. Like
No.
maybe he's smart as fuck. Maybe he's a great assistant manager. I mean, yeah, assistant, but not the main guy, bro. Because obviously these dudes don't respect him.
Well, they didn't respect him because he was probably trying to go back to basics. And to them, the hardest thing about managing players at that level
Ego.
is creating a good
Yeah.
group where all the egos come together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Hey,
why are we gonna do this childish college bullshit? The Pauno stuff that will work with a college team, an amateur team, a team fighting relegation. Like every drop of sweat has to be worth our time. But when you have stars that have already won titles, you need to come with a different story. And I think Pauno was just trying to be just
What
too professional, too motivational.
What's that that saying, you can't teach a old dog new tricks? I think that's just like the vibe in Mexico. It's like, hey bro, like you're over here teaching us the fundamentals, and we're beyond that. We're above that,
and,
Yeah,
and that's a Marcelo Bielsa experience. That's why he handpicks all these players. He picks medium players, todavía not superstars, but players that are just below that threshold que dices, okay, they're good players, but they can become superstars porque he can control them better. Porque after 3 or 4 years of the same discipline, dice, no, pues ya me enfadé de este güey. Es lo mismo que le pasó a Paunovic.
Well, that was the deal with La Volpe. That's why he had so many clashes with Cuauhtemoc Blanco, and that's why look at the World Cup. He took like mostly guys he had coached since they were young.
So I think what we have to keep in mind is that like players and coaches is puro giga chads, man. And it is a battle of the egos, dude. It is, man, because it's like you're the best guy in your whole town, for years and years, and you're the best at every level to succeeding, and then you're at the highest level of Mexico, and these people like they don't agree with you, or like they're criticizing you, and you're like, fuck you, man. I'm the fucking best. I've gotten this far, doing what I do. Fuck you and what you're trying to tell me to
Yeah.
do. Like it makes sense, man. Like a lot of egos,
I
and
could
it's
I could
double
see
sword.
him. I could see him being like the micromanager, and like he's like obsessed with like their nutrition and like the whole like curfew. Like I could see him kind of being overbearing, and like it works on young players, but when you got a mixed group, and you got like Pocho, who's been at other clubs and all that, I could see the
all yayed out, dude. All fucking cocodrilo.
yeah, dude.
But at the same time, it's not just that, guys. Like, yeah, the whole, personalities and all of these things do come into play. But the other thing that Pauno was doing that's very different was that he was openly holding players responsible.
Mm-hmm.
When he would go out to the press conferences, he would shit on the team.
Oh,
He
I
would
thought that
tell
was a
them
little bitch move, dude.
they
I
gave up
can't
on
respect
us.
You keep
Well,
that shit in house, dude.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
know, you don't air that.
What is it?
and that's
Listen,
one of the
La, ro-
things
la
that
listen to
started
shit.
to
rompe se lava en
happen.
casa.
Praise in public and criticize privately.
Well,
Exactly.
exactly. Pues wait, les está picando el culo all day at practice, and then he goes in front of the cameras and starts talking shit like this. That was bound to break the
Yeah.
locker room. As
Yep.
soon as that happened,
Did he do that
I
at
knew
Tigres
it
too?
was done. Yeah, he did it at Tigres. I'm talking about Tigres right now. I don't know what the fuck he did at Chivas. I don't pay attention to those fucking
Yeah,
shitty
but
ass teams.
that's what it comes down to though. Who has a bigger dick, the players or the coach? Because in Manchester United, their current coach, he did that with Garnacho. He said that he needs to learn to attack better, defend better, pass better. He basically said he needs to do everything better. So if you're the player listening to that, he just shitted on you. He said your whole game sucks. But he came out on the press conference and says he needs to improve on everything. So I understand Rifaldo's point. You got to keep it in the locker room, and you got to keep this kumbaya. But at the same time, like the coach has more authority than the player. Why should the coach respect your feelings? Obviously, you're not doing something right.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
That shit always rubs me the wrong way.
The Liga MX, man, they just like to be babied. But the thing that did piss me off though was the film that Chiquete said that they were actually watching film.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
It's like, bro, what do you
Real-
guys do all day? You guys are getting paid millions of dollars. You can't even do the bare minimum.
But it wasn't that. It pissed me off. Like, what are all the other coaches doing?
Yeah, for real.
Like
What are
this
they doing?
motherfucker had it coming from, and I wish Joeli was here because this shit pissed me off with him. I've always said that one of the reasons Argentina's so huge because I've seen Argentina's like youth coaches. They don't coach, man. They develop.
Yep.
Like you watch their videos, man. The way they teach these little kids body movements, everything. Like it's just fucking amazing. It's like I be learning shit watching a fucking U7 coach develop shit that I didn't learn until I was like fucking 17. And I
All
was
right,
like,
man, you're
oh
glazing the fucking Argentinos.
no, no, go
Bigotry,
watch it.
bro.
Go watch
It
it.
happens in Mexico, man. We're
Okay,
not fucking in
no,
the
no.
Stone
You know
Age in
what I think
Mexico.
happens in Mexico?
Estás loco, pa.
No. I'm gonna tell you it's not local. I got facts to back it up. I think in Mexico it's like the U.S. They put results above everything.
It's gonna be 1,000 a week if you want your kid to start,
Yeah,
and
you got to win.
Exactly.
You got to win the
gotta-
youth game. And Rifado, you know what's the facts? Hector Moreno, Johan Vasquez, they said the same thing. They didn't learn how to defend, so they went to fucking Italy. They didn't learn shit. Go look up the interviews. They didn't learn stuff as professionals, as grown men, that in Italy was being
No
taught in the
mames,
youth
dog.
teams.
They just say that shit, dude, to fucking.
They're just
No,
saying that
bro. I
shit.
believe
They're
it.
just
I
saying that
believe
shit.
it.
Nah,
Why would they
Chales,
just
dude.
make
He
it
didn't know
up?
how to defend that Pumas. No me jodas, dog. Come on.
No, they didn't
No,
know
but
how
there's shit that yeah.
tactics.
Not to the extent que los pinches
Fucking
italianos
Genoa
saben.
bought him by accident, dog. They bumped into him. They liked his
No
fucking
mames,
style.
güey. Estás mamando
He's an
verga.
upright man, and they
I
bought
think
him,
you're
right?
drunk again. You're drunk
No,
like when
they
you
fucking
did that.
bought him because he's a good
You did
defender,
that
dude.
Canada 3-1 prediction. I think you're drunk again.
We have Richard joining us. I don't know if this is the same Richard that we all know and love, but maybe he's back. We'll see. Welcome.
Yo, how's it going, guys?
Hello.
A quick question, guys. I know I just joined, but what you guys think about Mexico winning? Are we back or was that a fluke?
It's a good question. I think that this is the little spark that could give us a good run next year. There's still a lot to figure out between now and then. Number one, who's going to be our starting goalkeeper? Number two, can Raul Jimenez retain his form? Because right now he is the guy. But the other Jimenez, Santi, isn't doing so well in Serie A. So I think there's still a lot of moving pieces, but it's definitely a final that needed to be won by Mexico, and we'll see how they do in the Gold Cup. I think the Gold Cup will give us a good idea of where we at.
Yeah, hopefully, man, because there's a lot of mixed feelings, because what if like USA would have won, Gio Reyna was healthy, would we have lost to USA? Or that's why I was like, are we back, or was it like God, and the Virgen fucking, lighting our journey,
Well, I'll tell you this right now. you know, what USA does is none of my business, and we have bigger fish to fry than the US men's national team. I know that they're our biggest rival, and on paper, they're the biggest team in CONCACAF next to Mexico. But we need to be asking the bigger questions of how do we stack up against South American teams? How do we stack up against teams in Europe, and try to schedule some of those friendlies to see where we're at.
Yeah, yeah, I absolutely agree, bro. It's hopefully, I mean, it's really hard to say, but I think the key has been that, I know people are trying to make it seem that, that they, instead of going to like Europe, they should go to like MLS and bring the talent over here. But I still think that's the best game plan, having to possibly like nationalize a few players, or if not, make sure everyone's going to Europe, so the World Cup next year, we're ready for it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Richard, thanks for joining us. Um, I wanted to also talk about Chivas and how they might be moving to Nike now that America has signed with Adidas next season, or I don't know if it's next season or next year, but obviously Nike has some big shoes to fill now that they've lost the contract. And I would be really happy and looking forward to Chivas getting some new drip. And I'm tired of the Pumas or the Puma contract we have.
So according to Jesus Bernal, he came out a short video saying that they re-signed with Pumas. I There's no other person that says that, but was Jesus Bernal is a Chivas insider. He might be telling the truth.
I hope not.
So
Remember
we'll see.
when Nike briefly dressed Chivas back in '97, and for like for 5 games, and then they switched to Atletica. It was a decent. It was a. I like that uniform. It was fresh, and then we went to fucking Atletica, and then that was it.
Yeah, those Chivas Nike jerseys are all over the internet. I
The
have
away one was. I like the away one. The away one with the blue
the
and
blue
red
red.
shirt. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that one's clean. I just thought it was the Mex Lube logo was awkward as fuck.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't coordinate it as well. I don't know where they left. I think.
It was
I
Sol.
It was Sol. Sol was a problem. Okay.
Yeah, Nike didn't want to use I don't know if it was the color scheme or the logo, but it got to the point where like Nike said, "Fuck this, we're out," because Sol was complaining about the ad placement on the jersey.
No. Okay.
I know it's been a upgrade ever since the Bimbo, because I used to fuck with the Bimbo sponsor. 'Cause, I used to be a fat kid that liked Bimbo bread. But then I went to college and I went to like a Midwest All American white people college, and they're like, "Why does your shirt say Bimbo, you weirdo?" And then I was like, "Fuck this jersey, fuck this sponsor." And then we got a
Living in
Puma,
man.
and then I was still a fat kid, but obviously the Puma jersey doesn't fit right because it's made for Africans with abs and shit. So it
Fuck.
would be nice to upgrade to Nike. Nice in between.
You forgot about well, yeah, we had Reebok for a while.
Yeah, right after it was so they had the Atletica contract.
Mhm.
Vergara came in saying he wanted to upgrade everything. So that first uniform, it was without a sponsor, but
Mhm.
I think it was Reebok, but it was just blank. And then eventually your 2005 your 2005 team, your 2006 champion team, it was Reebok uniforms, and they were nice. They were slick. I like them.
Yeah.
Now, really quickly, I would like to counter argue what Habibi said. And I love the Bimbo sponsorship because I love seeing the female fans advertising just what they were.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Yes, I know what you are. Vámonos, chiquita.
Hey, when is Cruz Azul gonna get a serious uniform provider? Because what are they right now?
Oof.
Puma or Charlie?
Prima, güey. No, güey. Neta, if you knew how happy I was when they got the Under Armour sponsorship, and then Under Armour pulled out of the entire Mexican market because they stopped doing Toluca. They stopped doing, well, they only had Toluca and Cruz Azul,
Oh, for
and
real?
it all just went to shit. Yeah. No, Under Armour pulled out of the entire Mexican market. It was really shitty. Now,
Yeah.
really quickly, breaking news type shit. It has been confirmed. Leon is out of the Club World Cup. The
Wow.
appeals committee did find that it was multi-property is strong and real. That granted, you established a blind trust, but in that trust, the league, the leading shareholder is still the owner of Grupo Pachuca, and so yeah, they got booted the fuck out. And just like we kind of talked about earlier, it was all because of the letterhead.
Pendejo.
In the group
Verdad,
chat, you
güey?
said
Picture you
fake
sent us was
news. You
real.
said fake news, my guy.
I did say fake news, but now like it's just breaking. The articles are starting to come about. Like the floodgates are open. I told you, it seems like fake news because I haven't been able to confirm it. Now, Línea de Cuatro's talking about it. The internet is talking about it. Like it's all
David
over the
Faitelson
place.
is talking about that shit too.
Hey,
So
Abdias, you know,
we're gonna get that playoff game then?
I believe so. That's what
Wow.
it looks like.
Abdias, you know what's the hardest Cruz Azul jersey I've ever seen?
The Fila one.
I'll
Fila.
say the long
Puma.
sleeve fila.
Fila, bro. I haven't seen it in a long sleeve, though.
What, bro? The long sleeve is like the classic. You're talking about the one like with the big ass Cruz Azul logo, like
Yeah.
slightly
Yeah, it looked like it
Yeah,
was
offset.
that shit
a
goes
event set.
hard, bro. That's a tough jersey right there. That shit's clean. I ain't gonna
Wait,
lie.
all you have to do is go to a tianguis in Mexico, and you'll find it all over the place.
The best Cruz Azul I've seen one was the Hermosillo Emilio Mora Octavio Mora days. The one with it was their own brand, I think, Azul. That was spiffy. That was nice.
Nah, guys, ahorita les voy a matar el gallo con la que, bro, that one makes my dick hard.
Which one?
So, la que usó Cruz Azul when they went to the Club World Cup. It was the first year that they got the Under Armour contract, so Under Armour came out with fucking fire, dude. It was so the shoulders and up
Was it white?
was white. Yeah, it was white.
I didn't like that jersey. That shit was ugly.
Oh, dude, it was so fucking nice. They only wore it for the Club World Cup. They never wore it for like anything else.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
because
know.
they
That
tried.
that one doesn't sit well with me because it's like it goes like I haven't seen that design before on Cruz Azul.
It kind of looked like the Captain America one that the US was rocking for a bit. It was, oh man, it was fucking sexy. That one, dude, I haven't been able to find it in fakes. I haven't been able to find it in officials. I haven't been able to find it anywhere.
Under Armour had a black one too for Cruz Azul. It doesn't look bad.
They did, dude. That's why I was so excited when like Under Armour was the sponsor. I was like, bro, the drip is about to be strong. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
they
about
had
to start
some nice
collecting all this
jerseys.
shit.
Yeah.
Y nomás duró una pinche temporada. And worst of all, bro, it was
Wow.
for the Boeing era. Like the nastiest fucking jerseys ever. This is like
Boing.
So I actually saw some sick ass drip tonight, dude. It was Efrain Juarez wearing a fucking Pumas Letterman jacket, and I'm like, damn, what a waste, dude. What a sick ass fucking jacket.
You know what's some fucking
Wasted on
sick
the
ass
shit
drip?
team.
You know what's some sick ass drip? Have you seen the pictures from Segundo Castillo and the Libertadores where he comes out with fucking a pink fucking tuxedo?
Sir, it's called Second Castle.
Oh, Second Castle, yes sir, Second Castle.
Second Castle, what?
Don't do it to the guy.
Because Jaime, so what's it? Segundo Castillo, who played in Liga MX, he's a coach in Barcelona and Guayaquil. And for the
Oh.
Libertadores, he's been coming out with fucking tuxedos. I think a month ago he came out with a black tuxedo, and yesterday he came out with a pink tuxedo.
No, wait, no,
Oh,
no, no. It
Pure
was
second castle.
White and black, the first one.
Yeah.
Chambelán de honor, güey. Chambelán de honor.
100% black pants, white tux jacket,
Yeah, yesterday was pink.
and bow ties. And bow
Yeah.
No
ties.
way. It wasn't pink. It was color mamey.
Oh,
Ale-
Y dicen que él es
Alejandro.
segundo porque las damas van primero.
Ah, perro.
Alejandro Castillo, huh?
second, segundo.
Dude, it's a nice ass touch. There's this highlight video. The player kicks the ball out and goes to the sideline. Perfect settle, bro. He settles it like a pillow on his foot.
That's such a weird name. It's like, I'm going to call you second.
Segundo.
Segundo.
Hey, man, there's some shit. I met this lady the other day. Su nombre era Aleluya. I was like, no mames, señora.
What the
¿Cómo que
fuck?
aleluya?
No way.
Yeah, I've met someone that their name was Corazon,
Corazon.
but she was
Bro.
Filipino.
Once I
Hey,
met this.
in high school, there was an ugly guy named Buen Rostro, and everybody would fucking talk shit about Buen
Wow, that's
Rostro.
fucked up, bro.
Once I met this girl that I was gonna start dating, and like she's fucking Mexican, like me, obviously, from the rancho and shit. And she said that her name is Desire, And I was like, bitch, that's just Desiree. Your mom's not gonna like, hey, la enfermera, oh, se va a llamar Desire. Like, bitch, that's just Desiree.
I'm gonna give you this one. My cousin, he was under the influence of drugs, and I guess his high nut was too. So they named their kid Ecstasies. They're fucking. And they had a-
Ecstasy?
yeah, yeah. Poor girl. She had a fucking at 16. She changed her name to Rachel because the bullying was too intense.
Damn.
That reminds me of
And
that one joke.
And she had a younger sister named Molly.
Strippers' moms named them after shit they couldn't have, like Diamond, Mercedes.
Oh yeah, Lexus.
Bentley.
I thought they should. What if they named their kid 401k?
401k.
Hey, right now be like down 20%, up 30%, 20%.
Damn, that's crazy. No, it's crazy, man. Oh, how do we get on this topic? We're talking about Boeing.
Talking about jerseys y Cruz Azul.
Pinches chamos, bro. It's the influence.
They got to sniff and paint, man.
Yeah, sniffing cement. So we had some action in Liga MX over the weekend. Querétaro and León tied 1-1. Necaxa on that victory against Tijuana. Rifalo, you said you were there. That's awesome. Such a cool experience.
It was fucking dope, man. And you know what? Like, they're getting used to us, dude. They're getting used to us in fucking TJ.
That's what's up.
And yeah, man, come on down. We'll double dragon that shit.
Hell yeah, bro. Necaxa, man, creeping. I know you mentioned they're the dark horse. They're in 4th place. I don't think they're dark. I think, now they're considered like I don't know, contender maybe. I don't know.
They're not a grande. It's very rare for them to win something. And I believe they're part of multi propiedad, no?
Necaxa?
No, they're part of a investment fund.
They used to be clicked up with Televisa. They used to be.
Bro, this is hells ago. Maybe like 20 years ago, 15 years ago.
Necaxa is owned by like Mesut Ozil and Verlander and
Eva Longoria.
Eva Longoria.
Mesut Ozil.
And the guys that also own Wrexham are part of that too.
Ryan
Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
Now, really quickly, and I want to throw putazos on this one because of something you said earlier. Bro, Necaxa is not a dark horse. And if anything, this just shows to me that you haven't been paying attention to Liga MX for a while. Because Larcamón, the moment that they fucking que ficharon a Larcamón, güey, you knew it was done. Like, you knew they were going to be real contenders. Porque ese güey le saca agua a las piedras.
Like, fucking, ahí viene Necaxa. Ojo con Necaxa.
Really?
Bullshit,
Entonces son un montón de pendejos, güey.
Dude, you're hitting the fucking glue too hard.
Nah, bro. Entonces son un montón de pendejos. Because if you don't know the way Larcamón works, you're not paying attention.
How many titles did he win with León?
The international, the one that matters, right?
Come on, man. It's all about Liga.
And then he had him running in the top flight. Like he had him working really
people
well.
wanted
And
Capone in la
then
selección. They wanted him.
a huevo, y luego se
Lo
fue
queremos en
a
Chivas.
no a Pachuca, el otro güey, la franja.
Puebla, ya.
Se fue a Puebla y también, güey, los pinches Larcaboys estaban metiendo pipazos por todos lados.
Mhm.
Didn't they knock out Chivas?
Like,
They did.
once
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
that just shows to me that you haven't been paying attention for a long time.
No mames, dog. You're fucking reaching out a fucking I don't know.
Puro
God knows.
short-minded memory.
Bro, you've
Nah,
been
dog.
inhaling too much concrete, bro.
No
You need
one,
to.
no one was like, "Ojo con fucking Necaxa, dude." No one. Come on.
Entonces no ponen atención, güey. That's all it is.
No, I would say when Lac Ramon joined, it'd be like, hey, watch out in the Caxa. Let's see what Lac Ramon does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when Larcamon joined, no one was like, "Oh my god, Larcamon's here." Everyone was like, "Oh, this looks interesting. Let's see what happens." And something really, great, came into fruition. And I think they're one of the dark horses to win it all because they don't have the resources of Cruz Azul,
Wait, to win
of
it all? No,
America.
mames, eso sí no.
I do
Deep
think they
run?
can make a
Sí,
deep run
I give you
because
that, pero
it's a
para ganar la
knockout
fuck,
tournament.
I
bro.
think Necaxa can get to semis, bro, but
There you go.
I
It's a
want
Yeah.
knockout tournament.
Pero
Anyone
para
can win
ganar la
it, dude.
fuck,
Anyone
no.
can win it.
Necaxa's
And
gonna
this
be like,
pragmatic, high pressure style, que te hoga in your own half that Larcamon's doing with these guys, like that's good in a knockout style. And so I don't sleep on these fools.
Guys, since you guys are obviously super knowledgeable about the Liga MX, right? When a team from Liga MX loses to an MLS team, is that shit like embarrassing, or does that just show that MLS's talent is like getting better?
nah, man, it's just
Nah,
Pumas.
it's just
Pumas, it's
Pumas,
another
bro.
Monday.
It's just
It's
Pumas.
just Pumas. Like they're like the
No, se
redhead of
pasan
the
estos
family.
vatos because
They're the
was it
redhead of the
Columbus
family.
Crew with Nancy? They look good, dude. Like so, I need Ellis in MLS. Some of them are worthy, others less so. But like sometimes they have good sides like that team, that Columbus Crew. Like last year, they got beat by Pachuca, but they I think they beat America. Who else? Who did they end up knocking out? But I guess in short, what I'm trying to say is like they can be competitive. You got this Miami team with Messi, and I feel like they get favored a lot by the refs. But like in spite of that, still a lot of quality. But then you have teams that Liga MX should be like destroying, like Chivas with San Jose. Who wins? Fucking San Jose.
Mhm.
No mames. So like I don't know. The gap is closed for sure, but Liga MX better
The
overall by a lot.
gap has closed for sure. What are you guys mamadas?
Yeah, dog. Like
No, wait, he's
know,
talking about his culo, but he misspoke. The gate has closed for sure.
Look, I think that MLS is.
I'm on to you, Abdias. I'm on to you, dog. You're getting close.
If you look at the Champions Cup winners in the last 20 years, it's been all Liga MX except for when Pumas fucked up and lost to Seattle, right? So, I mean, clearly it's been one-sided for a very long time. Now, FIFA and CONCACAF kind of gives MLS a fighting chance in this tournament. They give MLS more spots. Technically it's like Canada and MLS teams, but in the end, it's all favored towards MLS, trying to, give them the best shot of winning this thing. But they can do all kinds of things, change the rules, away goal, all this and that. Liga MX has still been like the team that's being representing in the Club World Cup most of the time. This year might be the first year in a long time that maybe Inter can get the win. It just seems like FIFA and Messi they just want to give them as much titles as possible and the easiest path there too. So we'll see how the semifinals turn out, but it's gonna be Liga MX on Liga MX action, right? In the semis, it's not like it's gonna be Vancouver and Inter, right?
Yeah, it's Vancouver versus Inter and Tigres Cruz Azul.
Exactly how they wanted it.
Yeah,
Mex
fucking
on one
Pumas,
side,
man.
MLS on the other.
Pinches Pumas, man. I was reading articles about Messi va a venir a CU Hijos de la verga, man. Fuck that shit up.
That's crazy.
That shit was ready to post. Y dijeron, "Ay, güey, let's delete this."
There were about double fucking books, college books. They were about make money off everything, man. Fucking shit.
I even saw Ficusson tweeting prematurely about Pumas getting into the semis, and then he said, "Oh, never mind."
You know what? I take that back. Nosotros no las hablamos. It was fucking Faitelson.
El pinche lame huevos de Faitelson. Por eso que el América no fracasó. He said, he's like,
Bro,
no perdimos. Perder es que te dominen, que te metan 4 goles.
Oh, here we
Esto
go.
no.
that was a stupid fucking comment from that guy, man.
I knew they were gonna use that. The whole like, oh, you know, the away goal, such bullshit. You know, it's like damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because I remember that it used to be the other way where they would go to overtime and like, oh, these games are going too long. They should just do a away goal rule, make it more entertaining. And now that it's back, it's like, oh no, we need to get rid of it because you know it's clear that neither team was like, you know, got the clear victory. It's like, make up your minds, guys.
They only want it if it benefits them. Si no es beneficial for them, they're like, nah, fuck this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll never forget that time where América got knocked out by Pachuca in Liga MX. And that's when they got rid of the away goal rule.
Man, I saw that tweet right there that was shared. Pumas versus Messi from Faitelson. No mames, mamo.
So after 14 matches, América is still in first place with 30 points. However, Toluca have won their last 4 and are also tied with 30 points. They just have a different goal differential. Cruz Azul in third place with 28. Necaxa in fourth with 27. León in fifth with 27. Tigres with 26 points in sixth. These are your top 6. And as of today, would go directly into the playoffs. Pachuca in 7th, Monterrey 8th, Juárez, what the fuck, is in 9th, and Pumas is in 10th. These would be the teams eligible for the play-in. And then we have Mazatlan in 11th position, Chivas in 12th, San Luis 13th, Atlas 14th, Querétaro 15th, Tijuana 16th, Puebla in 17th, and of course, Santos in last place with 7 points.
Wait, is this updated? I thought Santos got out of the bottom. I thought it was like Tijuana.
So I just want to touch on one thing in regards to Chivas being in 12th place. They are 1 point away from Pumas in 10th place. So like it's really close in the repechaje area. And don't count on Chivas out just yet.
I
I'm going to
rather
disagree with that because it's all about
Bro.
the eye test, and Chivas is not passing the eye test.
Well, it's interesting because Pumas and Juárez will play each other on Saturday, and that is your 9th and 10th, right? So I think in everyone's interest, if you're a Chivas fan, you would want either a draw or maybe a Juárez victory there.
Do you, though? Do you want another week of false hope? Do you just not rather get it done with?
Hey, we got Mazatlan, who's in 11th position. So this is going to be a really interesting weekend because 9th, 10th play each other and 11th and 12th play each other. So Chivas could technically leapfrog into the play-in at the end of this weekend.
I don't know, man. The way I just see it, like, we make it to play-in, we make it to the next round, we lose. Amari's like, team's good. It's playoff. It's a playoff
This
team.
is what I was telling you guys. It's going to hurt us if we make the play-in y luego if we make it to the semis, just like fucking Habibi said, fucking Amari's going to be like, oh no, we're good. Llegamos a las semis. Un refuerzo de 1 millón nomás.
I'll be honest, man. These last 3 matches look pretty good, look pretty accessible for Chivas. They play Mazatlan, Puebla, and end the season with Atlas. All these teams are also on the bottom half of the table. So it's not like we're going against like the big names, right? Technically, yeah, go ahead.
So these guys, they want to like it's called like accelerationism, right? It's like when you want the bad times to happen, so you can get to the good times, right? But the thing is like in order for us to like build on something for next season, we have to go into this summer with something to salvage, with something with an identity, like with something for us to look to build upon in the summer when the window opens up, right? We can start making moves for the next tournament, right? So like us, you guys that want us to do bad so that like something miraculous occurs, like I think that's crazy, and what they have to do is win whatever they can from here on out so that there's something to build on for the future.
No, I
And
think that's bullshit.
There is no
'cause-
future though with
Throw-
Amaury though.
No, man, that's bullshit. You know why? Because Jaime just said it. The next 3 games
Sin
are
llorar.
are against bullshit teams. And what happened when Chivas got eliminated from the last couple tournaments? Go look at the stats. Out of all the top 9 teams, like the top 8, 9 teams, they only won like 1 or 2 games. Everybody else they lost to or they drew. The majority of their points came against the bottom half of the table. So it's the same fucking story. If they make it to Liguilla or the play-in this season, it's because they beat the bottom teams, the bottom table to get in the last second. They're not going to qualify because they beat the good teams. They qualified because they lost to all the good teams and they got points from the shitty teams. So how's that salvaging anything? How's that building on anything?
I'm
All
not
you
sure,
did
but
was beat the
what I am
shitty
sure about,
teams.
I'm not sure about that question, but what I am sure about is that you sound like some salty ass Heine dog. So you sound
No,
like,
man, no. I'm asking you a question. What can you build on when all you did was beat the shitty teams?
so
What's
like
the
you can only
positive
beat
from
what's
that?
in front of you, man. You can only beat you can't change
But
it.
for the
The
last
schedule
4 or
is what it
5
is.
tournaments,
And so
they're
like
just
you can
beating the
bring
shitty
you can
teams,
trot
and
out
they're
the
not.
joven
They're only
you
winning
can
1 game against the
you
top
can
9.
trot out the jovenazos and you can blood them. You can give them experience and you
You're
can build
burning them
for a
through. You're
better
burning
tomorrow.
through them.
You're burning. I mean, I either way, the whole season's a wash, man. Like give people playing time. That's what makes young players better. Playing time. Any player, you get better by playing.
What I will say from a business standpoint, it is in the league's best interest, especially after what happened this weekend with America's game not being broadcasted. Do you imagine the amount of money that they lost? It is in everyone's best interest for Chivas to somehow squeeze into the play-in because that's a much more attractive than a Juarez, no offense, or a Mazatlan.
It would be a nice heroic story saying Chivas qualifies for play-ins, they make it to the fucking liguilla, and then they make a deep run. That would be the narrative.
I don't know about a deep run. They would have to still play, if I'm not mistaken, if they were to squeeze in, let's say they squeeze into the 10th spot, they would still have to play twice to even get into Liguilla.
Yep. But I'm just saying it's a narrative that they can build on para agarrar más TV money.
And best case scenario, you get through miraculously past the play-in. Who do you face? America.
The Cinderella story. Hey, ya que Rifado estaba hablando de fucking players que podemos agarrar. So, friend of the podcast, Jesus Hernandez Chuyazo, he was saying that Chivas is really going heavy on Marcelo Flores.
Really?
That yes, that they don't. So they don't want any trades because if you guys know that Nene Beltran is on the table.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Sell him off. But the Tigres said they don't want any transfer plus money. They just want straight money. That's it. They haven't given an actual amount, but they're just saying we want money. We don't want no player money.
Marcelo plays for Toluca, no?
Tigres.
No, Marcelo Flores de Tigres.
Oh, sorry. I mixed them up with
Marcel Ruiz.
Marcel Ruiz. Yeah, my bad. That's the guy I really want. Marcel Flores, I'd rather have the sister than him, but that's just me.
I like him. He's been starting a lot for Tigres since his return from injury, but there's not a lot of fruition from there. The guy who's producing right now and who produced against LA Galaxy was Linez. He was looking really good. He's setting up a lot of chances for his teammates. One of his assists got annulled, and then I think he got another assist. But he's looking really good. But a lot of these guys, they need to go somewhere else, man. I hear they're gonna get Correa from Atletico de Madrid, so they probably want to offload one of these Mexican wingers that they got and rotting on the bench. I'm all for that move. I don't know where we're gonna get the cash though, and how much we're gonna have to pay for this guy though.
Who?
If it's true, Marcelo Flores.
Oh, myself. Yeah. Look, I don't think we need him. Like we need defense, bro.
Yeah, my boy Castillo, man, he was nowhere to be found this last league game. I don't know what's up with him. He's not the guy he was last tournament. I don't know if they rested him, um, but he didn't feature. We got Rey Mejia. I mean Rey Martinez. I mean Martinez has been playing. Um, so like yeah, we haven't found the replacement for Orozco, which is unfortunate because we sold him to Cruz Azul and I think he's doing okay over there.
Yeah, I mean, on my wish list, it's definitely Marcel Ruiz. I know he probably will never play for Chivas. I think he had at one point gone on record said he prefers America, but I mean that hasn't stopped players before. I think he's a great midfielder,
He got a
and
goal this weekend.
he had a really nice goal this weekend. And it's very ironic because a lot of these, because we have such a small pool to work from, and a lot of the players that are flourishing have already been through Chivas, right? Alexis Vega, people are claiming him as the player of the tournament. I wouldn't go as
Yeah, he's really good.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say he's the best player in the league. Maybe the best Mexican player in the league. But, to see him flourishing, I know Canelo is also doing really well over there.
You know who had a good weekend, and I saw it firsthand, was Pavel Pardo. Remember that guy, the winger?
Pavel Pavel
Pavel
Yeah.
Perez.
Oh,
Perez?
Pavel Perez. Yeah, there you go. My bad.
I
don't know where I
fucking
got
forgot
Pardo.
about
Dije,
him.
Pavel Pardo
Yeah, man,
salió
he
del
scored for
retiro.
Necaxa this weekend, dude, on Cholos, dog. I took a sick
Yeah,
ass picture of
I'm
him
not
praying,
I'm not
celebrating,
surprised.
and I'm just like, man, like, where was this fucker at fucking Chivas? He was a
Yeah.
no-show for us.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Larcamon's got him doing really good, and that's what Larcamon does. He gets these rejects and fucking
Bro,
gets more
even
out of the lemon.
Ricardo 4K Marin, bro. He's got 4 goals for Puebla since he left. I mean, if you were to add up all the goals that these ex Chivas players have accumulated this season,
Chino Huerta in Belgium, dog, this weekend. Fucking
Yeah.
cabezazo, sick ass, slick as fuck.
Canelo Angulo has 3 goals. Marin has 4 goals. How much does Alexis Vega have? He has 9 goals, bro. These are players that we just let go. And it's like all these goals would have accumulated into a much more successful season. And it's like, damn, bro, like we are fucking cursed, dog.
It's like when you break up with your ex, right? And then she goes off and she just has this like beautiful life, like, and you're like, oh, this fucking bitch.
It needs to be studied because it's pretty crazy. It's insane. Like, and I miss when Chivas del Norte used to keep up with the thread of every week. It's like former Chivas players flourishing, and they would just keep it going. There's like probably over 100 tweets of all these Mexican players that play for Chivas that now are doing much better in their careers. But what's the story with like Pulido, man? I haven't really seen him. Is he injured? Like, what's going on with this kid?
So rumor has it que Espinosa lo tiene castigado because of his party antics.
Oh my.
Yep. I don't know if you know this, but I guess he was on a live feed at 4 in the morning con el cantante de La Arrolladora.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. like right after the loss. Ahí se puso ahí a hacer un live with that guy. So
Oh yeah, it's
I
like
don't know.
they're not taking it serious.
Nah, they're not taking it serious.
Yeah. I remember we let go of some players that were on Tapatio. They were kind of still making their mark. Perez Buquet, I know was one of them. He went to Atletico San Luis. And then we had this one dude that went to Juarez, Campanil, something like that. But yeah, dude, something's wrong with Chivas, and we need a new owner. That's for damn sure. But yeah, folks, we're at the 220 mark. I want to put a bow tie on this episode. So give you guys your opportunity to have some closing thoughts. Who wants to go first?
Oof, I guess I'll go first because I'm itching to go to bed. So again, always with my closing thoughts is the rundown of the jóvenes for the week. And this week we had 55 jóvenes who played. So 55 U23 players out of 378 players available to play. So around 15%. Got to see some minutes, and I wanted to shout out a few of the starlets. So Cruz Azul, I already mentioned this guy, Andres Montaño. He's the number 10, riding wood for a long time. Finally coming good for Cruz Azul. He got a goal against Pumas in the 1-1 draw. Who else we got? For Toluca, we were talking about how good they're doing. So finally, El Turco is playing the jóvenes. And my boy Victor Arteaga, center midfielder. This guy is 21 years old. He played like almost every game last tournament under Paiva, and he was so good. Turco banishes this kid to the youth, the fucking sub 23 team, and he's fucking gone. And now finally he's starting and he's looking good. He was right next to Marcel Ruiz, who had a great game in his own self, like in his own right. I mean, so glad to see this guy back. And then my boy Del Villa, 20-year-old center back, starting for Toluca. No easy feat. Isaiah's Violante also got to see some minutes. So some of the guys I was worried about at Toluca are finally doing good. Let's see. Who else did I want to shout out? Brian Gonzalez for Pachuca, my left back. He's 21 years old, strong, fast guy. He got red carded against Pachuca in their win over America. I didn't get to watch the game; no one did. But it's interesting. I just wanted to notate this guy. Elias Montiel also played against America, and America had these two center backs that were young. So, anyways, yep, that's my rundown. Thanks for having me, everyone, and have a good night, everyone. Ciao.
It's always my favorite part of the night is hearing the rundown of all the Utes. Yeah, thanks you Refalo for keeping tabs on that. Montiel is one of those players on my wish list. I don't think Chivas or Pachuca. I don't know, Pachuca will sell, and I don't think Chivas can afford him. But would love to have him.
He's got to go to Europe, bro. He's got to go to Europe.
You're like, no, that's the gem. Don't even curse him. I love it. Who's next?
I guess I'll go next. And my closing thoughts is honestly the fact that La Máquina está calentando, they're looking better. It's actually starting to play something that I look forward to watching because before, dude, the team wasn't connecting. They weren't able to link up. Honestly, like I've said it before, it was like watching somebody who has a Ferrari grind every fucking gear along the way because they don't know how to drive it. They don't know how to work it. They're fucking new to it. And now, unfortunately, it's taken almost an entire tournament, a tournament where the players have been busting their asses off to get results. But it's taken the whole tournament, if not the majority of the tournament, to get us to this point. Now, we've eliminated America. We're about to go up against them again in Liguilla. Not Liguilla, in regular season. So let's see how it is that this plays out. The things is I'm starting to believe. And you know what happens when that starts to take a hold of you. There's nothing but disappointment left to be had. So we shall see what happens. Now, lastly, I wanted to give a couple shout outs really quickly. My first shout out is to Yuki Tsunoda for taking Liam Lawson's seat at Red Bull, and not just that, having a stellar performance at the Japan Grand Prix. Good for you, Yuki. You deserved it. Fuck Liam. All of my homies hate Liam, and the other half hate Red Bull. So, me la pelan. The second shout out that I want to give a shout out to Isa Tigrita because I've been doing the math. I know she's been absent. I know she was
Oh,
pregnant, and she should be right around in there.
that's
So,
right.
to our number one fan, I hope that the new little boy that you brought on, I hope you've been sharing the podcast with them, and we look forward to having you back at some point. If you still listen, just know you're still number one in our heart. And lastly, it is more of a pendejeada than a shout out. Y quiero pendejear al pinche Grupo Pachuca, way. It seems as if you guys never stole your classmates' homework. You never cheated off of someone's answers. You have to alter the letterhead. There's certain things that you have to change to throw them off the scent that you're the same person, that it's the same paper being submitted. The fucking letterhead is what gave you away. You put all of the teams that you own under the same letterhead. Like, no mames, güey. ¿Qué tan pendejo puede ser para cagarla así de feo? Other than that, it's been a great week, and I hope to hear back from Columbus Crew about the Miami FC game being held here in Cleveland at the Cleveland Browns Stadium.
The
And I'll
fuck?
let you know. Yeah, I applied for credentials.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see if we get approved. And if not, you know what, man? I'm going to put the homie on you.
Yeah, dude. I don't even know if I'll be able to get in to a Miami game here in San Jose. They are coming in May. And, you know, when Messi's in town, it's, you know, they're going to prioritize the networks first. But good luck, man.
Thank you. I'm thinking that I might have a good chance just because it is being held at the Cleveland Browns stadiums. They do have better facilities for press. They do have a lot more accommodations for media. So hopefully that plays out in our favor as well.
Mm-hmm. Forgot about Isa Tegrita. I hope you're doing well out there. Hope that you're healthy and that you have a healthy delivery.
Yeah, same here, Tigrita. You know, when Abdias said that, my first thought was like, what a weirdo. How does he know that? But then Jaime was like, oh, yeah, it makes sense. So I guess I missed the episode where this was announced. So wishing you a happy delivery, but it doesn't change the fact that Abdias is a weirdo that likes to buy a lemon. And then as far as,
Hey,
you know,
wait, espérate. What do you have against mommy milkers? Especially if they give off milk.
Oh,
nothing,
bro.
man.
¿Qué
Michelle
pedo?
Benitez, Univision, look her up. We talked about this earlier today. The TNT girl, we talked about it. But, you know, right now it's about Tigrita and a healthy delivery. Her mommy milkers, not others. So let's focus on her. And speaking, you know, focusing, I was talking to Rifado about this, man. See, I had to pull out the laptop. I had to get all nerdy. I looked up the standings. The only top six team that Chivas has beat this tournament is no one. Of all the top six in the standings, no
Wow.
one. In the
Pathetic.
top 10, they beat Pachuca, the letterhead fuckboys, and they beat Pumas. Who doesn't beat Pumas? That's it. 2 out of 10. So when I look at the
Damn, that's
remaining
fucking
games,
pathetic.
and it's Mazatlan in 11th, Atlas in 14, and then who was it? Puebla or some bullshit. Atlas, whoever it was. It's all bottom of the teams, man. You can't build on that. It's been the same story for the last 4 or 5 short tournaments. They lose against the top 10, they beat the bottom 10, and they luckily qualify into Liguilla. And you know, I'm gonna paraphrase a tweet I saw. It was this guy that said, "Hey, you know what? His name's Isra." He said, you're not a real Chivas fan if you're hating on the team now. A real fan está allí para las buenas y para las malas. And the most liked reply was, "Wey, no mames, tengo 38 años. Toda mi vida han sido malas. I've seen 3 titles in fucking 38 years." Like, that is las buenas y las malas. Like, where are all these fans coming from all of a sudden? Like, if you criticize the team, it doesn't make you a real fan. If you criticize a Maori, you're a piece of shit that wants to see the team fail. Where has it gotten to the point that maybe we're so fucking tired of seeing the team being ass that we can speak up? Because it's the same fans, it's the same chemos, it's the same huilas. I'll tell you que Chivas no exige. That the fans are comfortable. And when we finally speak out, all of a sudden we're not good fans because we're calling out the facts. It's fucking embarrassing that we're trying to make it into Liguilla when we haven't beat any of the top fucking 6 teams, where we've only beaten 2 out of the top 10. That's on the players, it's on the coaching, it's on fucking ownership. But the last ones who should be made a little guilty is the fans for raising their voice. And lastly, I hate it on Nations League. I hate it on international soccer. But from Champions League and Conca Champions, international club ball, sexy. I love it.
For sure, Habibi. Thank you for joining us tonight. Gorditos, you're up.
So for my closing thought, it's more of a script que les voy a dar. It's Chivas. Chivas qualifies for the play-in y va a jugar versus Monterrey. We're gonna win that by 1 goal. Y con el América nos van a dar en la madre. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my God.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Good night, señores.
when Habibi was saying, breaking down the victory that we've had this season, like we've only had 4. Out of 14 games, we've only won 4 games, bro. And the fact that we're still in contention for playing is fucking absurd, bro. It's pathetic, really. I think for the sake of my health and my mental health, I would like to not even see them qualify to the play-in. But hey, they have a pretty easy last 3 games: Mazatlan, Puebla, and Atlas. If they don't win those 3 games, bro, we don't even deserve to get in the play-in. But it'll make things spicy. I do really like this season, though. I've enjoyed watching Toluca from the sidelines. I love Turco Mohamed. I like how he plays his teams, and I think in Liguilla that is the team to beat. America resting on their laurels. They got the 3 chips. They got all this momentum going. They're expected to win again this season. But honestly, I think that for the first time, we actually have a couple of contenders that can knock them out. Cruz Azul just did that in the Champions Cup. Don't sleep on León on Necaxa. And we'll see. We'll see what happens in the Liguilla. That's the beauty about this tournament. It's shortened, and you can never predict who's going to come out on top. I have some closing thoughts around other leagues outside of Liga MX. My heart goes out to all the Saints fans. Southampton got relegated. They're actually the fastest team to get relegated from the Premier League, and they are going down to the championship. I grew up with some friends that were Southampton fans, super random. The only thing I can tell you about Southampton is that is where the Titanic set sail. And that is basically equivalent to how their season has been going. They've only gotten 10 points in 31 matches. It's really bad to see that. I know Real Madrid got their shit pushed in against Arsenal the other day. That was pretty entertaining to watch as a neutral. And for some crazy reason, I don't think this is over. I think Madrid still has what it takes to flip the script because they have that championship DNA. So we'll see what happens next week, but I'm really looking forward to that matchup. And I got my eye on Wrexham. Right now, they're in second place in the league won. It's an incredible story, you know, an incredible journey, and they might get to the championship, which is fucking insane what they've been able to do thanks to Deadpool and company. But yeah, I've honestly been really out of the loop this Quaresma. We're almost there. So yeah, thank you guys for keeping up with everything going on with all the Cheeseman Liga Mekis. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good night.